from Grady's Field in Xenia, Ohio. It is game number 39 as your Xenia Scouts take on their big city rivals, the Cincinnati Steam, for the final time of the 2016 regular season campaign. Andrew Alix here. I am joined alongside Scouts third baseman and home run hitter extraordinaire Chandler Adkins. You'll hear from Chandler in just a second. The Scouts traveled to the Queen City last night, and they took care of business. Fueled by a home run by Atkins, a home run by Adrian Marquez, and a great pitching performance after falling behind early by Walter Rook IV. The Scouts dominated, picking up a win by a score of 17-7. That win ties their franchise record for wins in a season. They are 24-12. That ties the record that was set last year by the 2015 Scouts, also managed by Bubba Cates. Tonight, the Scouts send Caleb Fernholz to the mound to take on the Steam for the final time. And let's get you the lineups before we can do anything else here. Batting first and playing center field is going to be Ryan O'Hearn. Batting second and playing third base, Mr. John Sharp. Jeremy Barth is playing right field and batting third. Evan McDonald is catching and batting in the cleanup hole. Batting fifth, the designated hitter, Colt Wolf. Batting sixth, Caleb Bloy. Batting seventh and playing left field is going to be Adrian Marquez. Batting eighth and playing second base, Kerry Holloway. And in the nine hole, your shortstop, Mr. Aaron Valance. But looks like we're about to get things underway. Chandler, and how you feeling today, buddy?
I'm feeling all right, man. I tweaked my hammy last night, so unfortunately I got to sit out today, but we got a few days off, so hopefully I'll be able to get back out there next Thursday.
So looks like we are about to get this game underway. Zach Beckner steps in, and the first pitch of the ball game, swing and a miss, strike number one. Zach Beckner, the second baseman. He is from Kent State University. He went 1 for 4 yesterday. Beckner comes into the game with a .316 average on the season. That's with a double and 2 RBIs. 0-1 pitch finds the zone, so Fernie ahead in the count, 0-2. Caleb Fernholz, he comes into the game with a 2-2 record and a 1.03 ERA. Fernie, the righty, he hails from St.Thomas University in Minnesota. The 0-2 pitch delivered on the outside, moves the count 1-2.
Good pitcher. Fernholz is a good pitcher.
Absolutely. And, after coming off Tommy John surgery a couple years ago, he is finding his groove here this summer. 1-2 pitch comes on the inside, evens up the count, 2 balls, 2 strikes. It's Beckner, Kyle Dacus, and Jake Richmond due up here for the Steam. 2-2 pitch, and that one fouled right back into the box and goes behind. We're going to stay at 2-2. We're here at Grady's Field, so no high right field wall tonight. Sorry, Chandler, and sorry, Queso. A couple guys that have certainly taken advantage of that. 2-2 pitch now. And that one is lined down the left field line, and that's going to bounce to the wall. Beckner rounding first. He's heading for second, and he is going to get there standing. So a leadoff double for the Cincinnati Steam puts the first batter of the game in scoring position, and not the start that Caleb Fernholz wanted, is it, Chandler?
No, not at all. I mean, you start the guy off 0-2, and he works the count back to 2-2, and then he hits a double down the line. That's not what you're looking for in a leadoff batter. You want to get that first out for sure.
And Fernie, the most struggle he has had this year came at Grady's Field against the Cincinnati Steam. He was hit for, I think it was 6 unearned runs, taking the loss in that contest. And despite the fact that none of the runs were earned, it took a toll, and he had to be pulled after 3 innings because of a high pitch count. But now Kyle Dacus steps in. First pitch to Dacus, swung on and missed, strike one. Dacus from Wright State University, so a collegiate teammate of Adrian Marquez and Jorge Lozano. He bats at a .245 mark on the year. That's with 7 doubles and 7 RBIs. 0-1 the count. Fernholz, he looks to the catcher, Evan McDonald. The 0-1. And that one in the dirt evens up the count, a ball and a strike. Wright State, of course, that's a school that plays in the Horizon League, the 2-time defending champions of that league. And Marquez and Lozano really part of that, turning around that program. 1-1. And that one is lined into right field, and that's going to drop. Beckner's going to advance to third, but a single from Kyle Dacus. 2 straight hits to start this one off, and the Cincinnati Steam have runners at the corners with nobody out here in the top of the first inning.
That ball not hit at third base.
So now we've gotten to the dangerous part of this order, the 3, 4, 5 hitters. With Jake Richmond, Cole Murphy, and Dallas Hall, the Steam, a couple straight hits, have runners at the corners with nobody out, and Jake Richmond steps in. First pitch to Richmond. That one's taken upstairs, ball 1. Richmond from Northern Kentucky University. He's a .312 hitter, 9 doubles, 3 triples, 7 home runs, and 35 RBIs. 1-0. And Fernholz, pick-off attempt to first to keep Dacus honest there.
Yeah, you're going to have to be careful with that guy. He's got pretty good wheels over there at first base. Don't want to put him in scoring position, obviously.
So Richmond, he bats from the right side against the right-handed pitcher Fernholz. Dacus dancing over at first. And the 1-0 pitch is fouled right back into the screen. Evens up the count. A ball and a strike here with nobody out. Runners at the corners in the top of the first. The Steam and the Scouts just getting things underway here at Grady's Field. Andrew Alix here alongside Scouts third baseman Chandler Adkins. And Richmond with 35 RBIs. That is in the top 5 in the league. 1-1 the count. Here's the pitch. And Fernie delivers low that time, moves the count 2-1. Jake Richmond at the plate, Cole Murphy. The home run king of the Great Lakes League awaits on deck. He hit one last night, his 11th of the year. 2 balls and a strike. And Fernholz delivers fastball low and away. So the count moves 3 balls and 1 strike with nobody out here in the top of the first. Zach Beckner at third, Kyle Dacus at first with nobody out. The Scouts, who have sole possession of first place in the Great Lakes League Southern Division, trying to keep it as Fernholz throws another pickoff attempt. Over to first, defensively for the Scouts, it's Bloy at first, Holloway at second, Valance at short, John Sharp at third, Adrian Marquez at left, Ryan O'Hearn in center, Jeremy Barth in right, Evan McDonald calling things behind the dish. 3-1 pitch coming now. Fernie sits and delivers, but time called there. The runner was going to go, but they send him back, and the pitch from Fernie not going to count, so we're going to do 3-1 again. Fernholz has allowed a double and a single to start this game. Neither of those balls hit particularly hard, but that's baseball. They find the spot, and it's a threat. 3-1 pitch fouled right back into the screen, so Fernholz working himself into a full count.
Yeah, you'd like to get it out here before the big man comes into the box. He has the ability to hit the ball deep into the outfield and score a run here. So
the way Bubba calls it now, if it's a grounder over towards short, are you going to let the run score and try to get the outs? Maybe for the double play, or even if you can't get the double play, do you still just go to first?
Yeah, probably this early in the game, you're gonna go ahead and take the outs when they give them to you.
Well, the 3-1 pitch missing low and away, so Fernholz issues his first walk, and the Steam are threatening here very early in this ball game. They have loaded the bases with nobody out, and the very powerful Cole Murphy steps up to the plate. Murphy, he hits from the left side. A .319 hitter on the year, 11 doubles, 11 home runs, 34 RBIs to show for it. Murphy from the University of Cincinnati. First pitch to him, and that one on the inside, ball 1. Murphy, we saw him yesterday. A 4 RBI day. A 3-run home run in the first and a RBI double in the second. He actually pitched a scoreless 9th inning as well. So the man can do it all, but he awaits the 1-0 pitch now.
Yeah, Murphy, talking to him at first base, one of the games, he played up at East Coast Pro with one of my buddies from back home named Chase Fullington. So they're both pretty good players.
And what region is that? Is that a Ohio based or?
No, it's I think they were playing in New York, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, so is that like summer ball?
Yeah, it was like high school summer ball thing.
Okay.
Pretty impressive thing. 2
balls, no strikes to count. Murphy, he played at the University of Cincinnati, had 4 home runs, but hit just a .145 in 83 at-bats, and he takes that pitch into left field. Adrian Marquez chases it, makes the grab. The runner tags. The throw home will be not in time. So a sacrifice fly off the bat of Cole Murphy scores Zach Beckner from third, and the Steam take a 1-0 lead here already. The runners at first and second stay put, so it's 1 down and 2 on for Dallas Hall. Dallas Hall, the center fielder from Miami University of Ohio. He hit in the 9-hole yesterday, took an 0 for 4 day. Hall, an all-star selection this year. He's hitting .290, 3 doubles, 3 triples, and 14 RBIs. He hits from the right side against the right-handed pitcher, Caleb Fernholz. First pitch. And that one delivers low and away, ball number 1. Fernholz throwing a lot of pitches already here in the top of the first inning, and it'll be interesting to see who is available from the bullpen if he can't go that far into the game. He's gone 6 or 7 in most of his appearances thus far, but that pitch is grounded up the middle. A diving Aaron Valance can't get there, and into center field. Coming home from second to score is Kyle Dacus, and an RBI single off the bat of Dallas Hall. Scores Kyle Dacus and extends this early lead for the Cincinnati Steam to 2-0. And you got to wonder, Chandler, for, the couple of kind of the week prior to this week, it was all pitchers duels in the Scouts games. And then since the second game against the, I believe it was, well, no, not the second game against the Galleon Graders, but the 2 games against Richmond and the first contest with the Steam, the bat's really starting to light up, and we'll have to hope that same offensive production can be reproduced here, because if we have a kind of a hitless or a scoreless outing like we did with the Galleon Graders, where we didn't even score until the bottom of the 9th, that's not going to hold here, as the Scouts find themselves behind in this game very early.
Yeah, we're going to have to get the bats going throughout this game and start scraping off a few runs here and there.
But before we can do anything, we got to get ourselves out of this inning, and it's runners at first and second and 1 out now. The batter is Brandon Giltro. Giltro, also a Wright State University guy, did not play last night. He is the catcher tonight, and a much-needed day off for yesterday's catcher, Kyle Durham, for this team, as he was just getting pounded on those balls in the dirt all night. Probably needs a day off. First pitch. Fernie delivers low and away. Ball number 1, Giltro, a .280 hitter on the season, 5 doubles, 3 home runs, and 8 RBIs here. It's runners at first and second with 1 out. In the top of the first, 1-0 pitch, and that one low. So Fernie falling behind in this count, 2-0.
Yeah, obviously the double play is still in order. If he can get a ground ball here and we can roll 2 and get back in the dugout, that would be the best option.
Fernholz. 2-0 pitch. Check swing, but the pitch on the outside. Home plate umpire says he held there, so 3 balls and no strikes. Flag is blowing out towards the left. 3-0 pitch. The get me across 3-0 pitch from Caleb Fernholz does just that. Moves the count, 3 balls and a strike here. And like Chandler said, a double play ball is really the antidote that the Scouts need to get themselves out of this one. 3-1. And that one's lifted high in the air towards center. Ryan O'Hearn mistracks it, and he's going to have that one drop in front of him. All the batters, or all the runners, advance 1 base, and the bases are loaded yet again. And that's one that, unfortunately, O'Hearn seemed to have misread, and I don't know if he had a shot at it either way. But
it was a soft hit ball. He did the right thing, taking his first step back, but unfortunately, couldn't get to it.
So the base is juiced. Ethan Schmidt coming to the plate. Schmidt from Xavier. He hits 182 on the year. That's with 3 doubles, a homer, and 8 RBIs. The Xavier Musketeers, they made a regional appearance, eventually getting bounced by College World Series team UC Santa Barbara. And my roommate from last year's Athletes in Action team that I worked for in Alaska, David Morton, was the starting second baseman for those Xavier Musketeers, so a connection there. But first pitch taken low, 1-0 pitch. Fernie, a close one there, not getting the call on the lower outside part of the zone. So Ethan Schmidt ahead in this count, 2 balls, no strikes. Fernie has nowhere to put him. The Scouts trailing this game 2-0 already here in the top of the first. 2-0 pitch, and that one swung on and missed. Moves the count 2-1.
Regardless of the little blue base hit, we still have the double play. So like I said before, if we can get the ground ball here, that'd be the best thing.
2-1. And that one's grounded past the glove of the shortstop, Aaron Valance, and that's going to roll into left field. Coming home from third to score is Jake Richmond. And another single there extends the Cincinnati lead to 3-0. So the base is still loaded, and it got the ground ball, but just not placed in the place that we needed it. Just
That's baseball.
A couple strides to the left of where Valance was playing, and like you said, none of these balls have really been hit that hard. It's not like he's getting rocked out there. But another run comes home to score, so the Steam leading 3-0 in this one. Here's the pitch. First pitch breaking ball to the batter, Dan Chmielewski. That one finds the zone. Called strike one. Chmielewski, the right fielder from Michigan State University. He's a .246 hitter on the year with 15 RBIs. 4 doubles, a triple, and a couple of home runs. The 0-1 pitch, and that one's grounded over towards second. Kerry Holloway slides in front of it, throws on over to first to get the force there. But coming in from third to score is Dallas Hall, and that extends the lead to 4-0 for the Cincinnati Steam. So a good decision there by Holloway to get the out. But another run comes in.
Yeah, that's what you got to do there. Obviously, that ball was hit softly to Holloway's left, and the only play there is to get the out at first base.
So now it's the 9-hitter, Casey Metzger. First pitch to Metzger. That one does find the zone. A called strike one. Metzger from Thomas More College. He's a .214 hitter on the year. The base is loaded, and 2 outs here in the top of the first. 4-0. The score in favor of the Cincinnati Steam. The 1-0 pitch, or the 0-1 pitch, misses low and away, so that evens up the count. A ball and strike. Valance playing deep in the 6 hole. Outfield is shallow, and that one's lifted deep into left field, but that's going to hook foul and drop there. So a sigh of relief there from Fernholz as now he moves ahead in this count. 1 ball and 2 strikes with 2 outs here in the top of the first. 4-0 the score in favor of the Cincinnati Steam. The Steam with runners on first and second, and Fernie just 1 strike away from getting his way out of this one. 1-2. Fernholz, he looks to McDonald, shakes him off. He shakes him off again, but now he has what he wants. He sets and delivers. And that one, very close pitch.
Very close.
And Fernie not getting the call there as you saw him about ready to head back towards the dugout thinking he had a called strike 3, but the home plate umpire does not agree, so that evens up the count 2-2. 2-2 pitch now. Swung on and missed. Strike 3, he got him. So Caleb Fernholz strikes out Casey Metzger for out number 3, but 4 runs come in to score. That's 4 runs on 5 hits and 2 men left aboard. We have reached the middle of the first, and the Cincinnati Steam lead the Xenia Scouts by a score of 4-0. Don't go anywhere, folks. We will be right back. You are listening to the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. We head into the bottom of the first inning. The Scouts trailing in this one by a score of 4-0. Check that. And Shane Smith, the starting pitcher for the Cincinnati Steam, steps in. First pitch from Smith to Ryan O'Hearn. That one fastball finds the outside part of the plate. Called strike one. Smith from Miami University of Ohio. He has a 4-1 record on the season with a 4.37 ERA, and he gets Ryan to wave and miss at the 0-1 pitch. So 0-2 goes the count. Ryan from Hillsdale College, 229 on the year with 8 RBIs. And he takes fastball up and away for a ball there. And Ryan, I talk about it every single day. He has 32 walks on the year. That leads the league. The 1-2 pitch. And Ryan fouls that one right back into the box. We're going to stay alive here at 1 ball, 2 strikes with nobody out here in the bottom of the first. The Steam lead the Scouts by a score of 4-0.
Yeah, Ryan always seems to do a good job of having a first long at bat, seeing a lot of pitches, which is great out of your leadoff guy.
Smith, the 1-2 pitch, breaking ball. That one coming up and in. Good take there by Ryan as he works his way back into this count. 2 balls, 2 strikes. After falling behind 0-2. It's Ryan O'Hearn, John Sharp, and Jeremy Barth due up here in the bottom of the first inning as Ryan laces that one, but on one hop, the first baseman Murphy trying to play it. Ryan O'Hearn, a very close play, but the pitcher covering. They say he got there before O'Hearn did. I don't know about that, but mark it down as a 3-1 in your books, and that's out number 1 here.
Never fails. Ryan O'Hearn's busting it down the line there. It was a pretty close play. Even when he hits the ball to first base, it's always a close play when Ryan O'Hearn's running.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And it's kind of a guy that's given that hard 90 no matter what the situation. But now John Sharp steps in. John, the third baseman tonight. He watched his first pitch, breaking ball upstairs. The count 1-0. Sharp playing third base because Chandler's up here. John's a .325 hitter on the year with 12 RBIs. And he swings and misses at the 1-0 pitch, evens up the count. 1 ball, 1 strike. It is a partly cloudy afternoon here. Dark clouds above us in Xenia. As John swings at a low and away fastball that time, moves the count 1 ball and 2 strikes. Sharp, the native of Knoxville, Tennessee, he played his freshman season with Lipscomb alongside Chandler, but headed to Cleveland State Community College next year, and he waves and misses there. Strike number 3. So John goes down and 2 up, 2 down for the starting pitcher, Smith. That's going to bring Jeremy Barth to the plate. Barth, the right fielder from Biola University. He has struggled a bit of late after having a very, very hot start to the season where he was batting as high as .333, .340 a couple weeks ago. First pitch, and Jeremy hacks at that one in foul ground. The third baseman chasing over, but he's going to watch it fly out of play. The count moves 0-1. Jeremy, 22 years old, looks about 37, and earned himself the nickname Dad there. And Jeremy with 11 doubles on the year, 1 home run, 20 RBIs. Swinging and missing there. He falls behind in this count, 0-2. So no balls, 2 strikes, but 2 outs here in the bottom of the first inning. The Scouts trailing the Cincinnati Steam by a score of 4-0. Smith, he sets and delivers. And the 0-2 pitch taken high, ball 1. So Barth awaits 1-2 now. Smith looks to Giltro. He has what he wants. 1-2 pitch. And Jeremy hits that one high in the air and foul ground. The third baseman, Ethan Schmidt, takes a couple of steps to his left and makes the grab for out number 3. So the Scouts go down in order in the home half of the first. That's no runs on no hits and nobody left aboard. We have played 1 inning of baseball here at Grady's Field, and the Steam lead the Xenia Scouts by a score of 4-0. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back. You are listening to the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. So now we move into the top of the second inning. Andrew Alix here alongside Chandler Adkins, the Scouts, trailing 4-0 early in this one. And the Steam out to face Caleb Fernholz for the second time through. It's the leadoff hitter, Zach Beckner, his first time up. He doubled down the left field line. And he fouls that one right back down. So Fernie ahead in the count, 0-1. Caleb was ahead in the count, 0-2 against Beckner, his first time up. But Beckner fighting his way back as after that initial foul ball, he's kind of limping it off and going to have a word with the first base coach. Maybe that got him in the knee or the shin. I recall one time with you, Chandler, when you took a really hard foul ball right at some part of your leg, and you were almost down on the ground, and we kind of thought that you were going to be out at that point, but you came up, and I believe you hit your first home run of the season that game, or a triple or something like that.
Yeah, I fouled one off pretty hard off my shin. I thought I was going to die.
But Beckner seems to have healed pretty quickly there, so he's behind in the count, 0-1, steps back in. Fernie, the 0-1 pitch now. And that one is slow grounder, but that's foul on the third base side, so Fernie ahead in the count, 0-2 for the second time against Zach Beckner. It's the top of the order for the Cincinnati Steam. They lead this game by a score of 4-0. For some reason, I want to just give them an extra run. I've messed that one up a couple times. 0-2 pitch. And Fernie hits a breaking ball in the gap. John Sharp diving at third, and he can't get there. So,
unbelievable.
And that one, just another slow rolling ground ball into left field. And the Steam have picked up their 6th hit of the afternoon.
I mean, they just continue to find holes, not hitting the ball very, very hard. Just continue to fall.
So with the leadoff man aboard, it's going to bring Kyle Dacus to the plate. Dacus, he singled his first time up. Dacus yesterday took a 1-for-4 day. Should I say a 1-for-5 day? He scored twice and had an RBI to show for it. He takes first pitch outside part of the plate, a called strike one. Dacus from Wright State University, like we said, teammate of Queso and Jorge. A .245 hitter on the year. Pickoff attempt back over to first to keep Zach Beckner honest. The Scouts went down 1-2-3 in the home half of the first inning, and they're going to need to do some work to claw their way back into this one, but Fernholz is going to have to step up and try to keep his team in this one, but that pitch is hit hard into right, and that one's going to drop just like a foot foul on the right field line, so a big sigh of relief there.
For sure.
And Fernie's ahead in this count. Dacus, the shortstop, part of that middle infield. Ethan Schmidt playing third base today, as opposed to yesterday's third baseman, Andy Rozier. Rozier, I believe, is the son of the guy that owns the team. 0-2 pitch, and that one's grounded over towards third. John plays it, goes to second for one. The throw to first for two is going to be not in time, so Kyle Dacus beats out the double play, so he's aboard with a fielder's choice. The lead runner, Beckner, down for out number one.
Sharp making a good play going to his left there and getting the lead out at second base. Unfortunately, we couldn't turn it. Ball wasn't hit very hard.
So now, with one on and one out, Jake Richmond to the plate. Jake Richmond walked his first time up. Runner at first, Dacus, again, trying to cause some trouble there, dancing over at first. Fernie doesn't like it. Pickoff attempt over there to keep him honest. Richmond, like I said, in the first inning, he walked, came around to score one of the 4 runs that they had there. Richmond, 35 RBIs, one of the most dangerous hitters in the league, and he laces one into left center field, and that one's going to drop in front of O'Hearn. Dacus goes to second. Jake Richmond safe at first, and the 7th hit of the day for the Cincinnati Steam, and that was probably the best hit ball that we have seen.
Yeah, that ball was hit pretty hard, but not hard enough to get past the speedy center fielder, Ryan O'Hearn.
And O'Hearn plays a very good defensive center field, and you know, the work that him, Queso, and Jeremy Barth have done out there has been pretty impressive throughout the season, but looks like Bubba Cates is going to come out to the mound to have a word with Caleb Fernholz. Any action in the bullpen, and looks like they are going to pull Fernholz from this game. So the final line on, well, not the final line on Caleb Fernholz, but he goes an inning and a third, and it looks like we're going to call to Jacob Chrysler to try to keep the Scouts in this contest. So we are going to step off Jacob Chrysler into the game with 2 on and 1 out here in the top of the second inning. The Scouts trailing the Cincinnati Steam by a score of 4-0. Don't go anywhere, folks. We will be right back. You are listening to the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. We're back here in the top of the second inning. The Scouts trailing 4-0. Jacob Chrysler in. He inherits 2 runners on base. Runners at first and second with 1 out here. And the batter is Cole Murphy. First pitch to Murphy, a breaking ball taken on the outside part of the plate for a called strike. Jacob Chrysler, he faces off against Murphy. Murphy, a .319 hitter on the year, 11 doubles, 11 home runs, 34 RBIs. He hit a sacrifice fly his first time to the plate. Chrysler, the league leader in ERA. And
yeah, Chrysler's been pretty strong out of the bullpen. We've got a pretty good pitching staff here in Xenia.
Absolutely, and it has really, been such a pleasant surprise that even in games where the offense hasn't been able to produce runs, the pitching has kept us in it. Multiple instances throughout the season. Runner dancing at second. Chrysler, the 0-1 pitch, and Murphy swung on and missed there. Cole Murphy, a very powerful hitter, a very strong hitter, drives in a lot of runs, but he does strike out a lot. He struck out, I believe it was 3 times against Noah Jones and 2 times against Walter Rook during the doubleheader action that we had here a couple weeks ago. And now with Chrysler ahead in the count on him, here's the pitch. The runner from third goes, and that one is fouled hard over on the left field side, out of play.
Looks like we might have had catcher's interference there.
Yeah, it looks like it. So Cole Murphy is aboard. And the way that Chrysler was ahead in that count, that is a shame that, you put the runner on that easily. So the base is juiced again for the Cincinnati Steam with 1 out here in the top of the second. Jacob Chrysler trying to get the Scouts out of a major jam here with 1 out. And Dallas Hall is going to come to the plate. Hall, he singled his first time up. Hall from Miami University of Ohio. He awaits the first pitch and swung on and missed there. Chrysler blows it by him. Ahead in the count, 0-1. Miami of Ohio, they've sent about every player on their roster. I recently learned that Richmond Jazz shortstop Mizuki Shumsky, who I accidentally called Mitsubishi Shumsky once. He's going there too. And that one's grounded towards the 6th hole. Aaron Valance tries to backhand it, but he can't hold on. 1 run comes in to score as the ball goes into left field. So an error on the shortstop. Aaron Valance brings another run home. Or maybe they'll rule that as a hit. We'll have to see. Yeah, they're going to call it a hit.
Yeah, moving that far over to your left, that would have been a tough play either way. You can't assume that he's going to get an out there. But another soft hit ball that's just finding holes, unfortunately, for us.
So the Cincinnati lead is extended to 5-0 now. And the bases are still loaded. It's Jake Richmond at third, Cole Murphy at second, Dallas Hall at first, and Brandon Giltro coming to the plate. So that run will not be charged to Jacob Chrysler, but rather be charged to Caleb Vernholtz. He is also responsible for the runner at third. And so either if that runner scores or we get out of this inning, that'll be it for the Vernholtz final line, and we'll get you that. But first pitch here from Jacob Chrysler. That one is fouled hard. Out of play on the right field side. The batter is Giltro. Giltro, the catcher from Wright State. He singled his first time up. Scouts now trailing by a score of 5-0 here. And that pitch low and away. Chrysler says, that's on me.
Yeah, nice stop by Evan McDonald. Those fastballs down in the dirt are tough to get in front of and block, but he does a nice job there saving a run.
A ball and a strike. Chrysler delivers. And that one swung on and missed. Chrysler well-placed ball low and away. Getting Giltro to chase there, and he's ahead in the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The base is loaded here. Still just 1 out. Scouts looking for that big double play ball here. With Giltro at the plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count. He looks and delivers. And that one swung on and missed, strike 3. So Jacob Chrysler gets a big second out here in this second inning. And now with Giltro down, it's going to bring Ethan Schmidt to the plate. Schmidt, who singled his first time up, hits just a $182 on the year. 3 doubles, a home run, 8 RBIs. He bats from the right side against the right-handed pitcher, Jacob Chrysler. First pitch. And that ball in the dirt. Did he go? They say, yeah. So maybe the ball wasn't in the dirt and it was just mishandled by McDonald in the end. But Chrysler ahead in this count. 0-1 here with 2 down. 0-1. Here it comes. And a very well-placed breaking ball on the inside part of the plate, a called strike 2. So Jacob Chrysler ahead in this count, 0-2. Trying to get the Xavier Musketeer, Ethan Schmidt. Schmidt, he awaits the 0-2 pitch. And Chrysler delivers way on the outside, trying to get Schmidt to chase there, moves the count 1-2.
Probably a waste pitch there. Trying to set him up for maybe something soft or maybe something hard in here.
The 1-2 pitch. And that one low and away. McDonald looked over to first base thinking about maybe a throw over to try to get Dallas Hall, who had a big lead over at first, but doesn't even try as the count evens up 2-2. 2 outs here and the base is loaded. In the top of the second inning, Steam leading 5-0 now. Chrysler, here's the 2-2 pitch. And that one, breaking ball coming on the inside. Ethan Schmidt fouls it right back. We're going to stay at 2-2. And as a catcher, what kind of pitch you call here?
2-2. Evan seems to be going fastball, breaking ball. I don't know. I mean, I guess
2-2 pitches. Looks like they say he just got a piece of it, and looks like a swing and a miss there, but Schmidt getting the bare minimum there and unable to hold on to that ball is Evan McDonald. So Ethan Schmidt, if nothing else, keeping himself alive in this count.
Looks like he went with a 2-seam there.
So 2-2 again now. With 2 outs and the bases loaded. Chrysler, he looks to McDonald. He sets and delivers. And that one's lifted high in the air, but not deep. The left fielder, Adrian Marquez, is tracking under it and makes the grab for out number 3. But 1 run comes home in the top of the second. That's 1 run on 3 hits and 3 men left aboard. We have reached the middle of the second inning, and the Scouts trailed the Cincinnati Steam by a score of 5-0. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back. You're listening to the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. We have reached the bottom of the second inning. The Scouts trailing in this game by a score of 5-0. Evan McDonald to lead things off for the Scouts against Shane Smith, who sent the Scouts down 1-2-3 in the bottom half of the first. The McDonald steps in, first pitch, and he lifts that one high in the air towards center. The center fielder and the left fielder chasing under it, but the center fielder, Dallas Hall, calls for it and makes the grab, out number 1. 1 pitch, 1 out.
That's not what you want to see. Obviously, you want to get the first runner aboard, but swinging at the first pitch is going to cause Colt to have to take a few pitches.
So now Colt Wolf, as you set up for me, steps in. He awaits the first pitch, and he lifts that one high in the air. And talk about take a few pitches. That ball is very deep at the track, the wall, and that ball is robbed at the wall by the center fielder, Dallas Hall. He literally robbing a pitch that was over the fence. He pulls it back over, and I'm not lying this time, folks. This time it actually happened. And unfortunately, this one hurting the Scouts. Colt Wolf, you thought off the bat there as the wind was carrying that one out to left center field that he might have had his 4th home run of the year there, but Dallas Hall saying, no, thank you, not today.
Yeah, he must have got a pitch he could hit there, obviously. He about put it out of the yard, unfortunately. Center fielder makes a great play, robbing a home run.
So that's unfortunate. I was really hoping that maybe I did have that one wrong that time, but now it's Caleb Bloy to the plate. Bloy shows bunt on first pitch, but pulls back. The home plate umpire, Steve Hammond, calls that one a called strike one. Bloy, 211 on the year. Back above 200 for the first time in a minute and a half. Breaking ball on 0-1. Bloy swinging and missing there. The count goes 0-2. 2 outs here in the bottom of the second inning. Scouts trailing Cincinnati by a score of 5-0. 0-2 pitch. Way on the inside. Almost got a piece of Bloy. As he calls time and tying the shoe, puts the helmet back on, and he'll step back in. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count. Bloy from Covenant College. A 2-hit day against the Richmond Jazz, his last time in the lineup, and he takes 1-2 on the outside, evens up the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes here. The sun coming out a little bit better now. As Bloy fouls the 2-2 right back into the box. We're going to stay at 2-2. Shane Smith has sent the Scouts down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to start this one off, even though he had a little bit of a heart racer there with Colt Wolf. So obviously this guy is hittable. At least we see that. 2-2 pitch, and that one's grounded up the middle. Taking a couple steps over is the second baseman Beckner, who turns, fields it, minks the grab, or throws over to first for out number 3. So the Scouts go down in order again in the bottom half of the second. That's no runs on no hits and nobody left aboard. We go into the third. The Scouts trail the Cincinnati Steam by a score of 5-0. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back. You are listening to the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. First pitch from Jacob Chrysler here in the top of the third is taken high. The Scouts, they trail by a score of 5-0 here at the hands of the Cincinnati Steam. And Chrysler in to pitch his second inning of work, the 1-0 pitch. And that one on the outside. The count moves 2-0. The batter is Dan Chmielewski. Chmielewski from Michigan State University awaits the 2-0. And that one's grounded over towards short. Fielding it is Aaron Valance. Long throw over to first in time for out number 1. So that grounder towards short didn't find a hole for the first time in about all game. And Chmielewski retired for out number 1. Is going to bring up the 9-hitter, Casey Metzger. Metzger from Thomas More College. He struck out. He only struck out for Caleb Fernholz. And he lifts the first pitch in the air to deep right center field, or left center field. That one's going to drop right in front of the track and bounce on the wall. Metzger rounding second, but he's going to get held there by the third base coach, but he is at second standing. So a double deep in the gap puts another Cincinnati Steam player in scoring position as we're back to the top of the order with Zach Beckner. Beckner, 2 for 2 thus far, a double and a single.
Yeah, you don't want to see that ball hitting the left center gap. You'd like to match their quick innings with quick innings, but unfortunately, the 9-hole hitter got a pitch he could hit and lifted it into deep left center field.
And Metzger, maybe he pulled something in the hamstring there as he's running back and forth.
Yeah.
So he's good. And he stands at second. Thomas More College, the school that he goes to, is located in Crestview Hills, Kentucky, right outside of Cincinnati. So if you don't know, now you know. But he takes a lead from second and back to the top of the order with Kent State's Zach Beckner. Beckner, like we said, 2 for 2 on the day. And he awaits the first pitch from Chrysler. And he waves and misses there. 0-1 goes the count. Chrysler has allowed 2 hits thus far. Trying to put some zeros on the board and give the Scouts offense some time to claw their way back into this game. They trail 5-0 here in the top of the third inning. 0-1. Here's the pitch. And Chrysler goes low and in that time, evens up the count 1-1. Kent State, a mid-major size school, plays in the Mid-American Conference. Their ace, Eric Lauer, was picked 25th overall by the San Diego Padres in the first round of the MLB draft this year. Curveball fouled right back into the screen as Chrysler moves ahead in this count, 1-2. Did you guys play Kent State this year?
We did not here.
And did you play any MAC schools, like any schools in Ohio or Indiana? Because they'll be about the same size as Lipscomb.
Yeah, I not that I can remember, but we may have played a MAC school.
1-2. And check swing fouls it back over. We're going to stay 1-2. Mid-American Conference, that's a conference that features schools such as Bowling Green, stuff like that, Miami of Ohio. Not really known for much other than, I'm trying to think, some sports will have good teams, and Miami of Ohio has had some alumni. Ben Roethlisberger on the football side. Here's 1-2 again, and that one, swinging bunt right over to the pitcher. Chrysler, he fields it, throws on over to first. Out number 2, but advancing another 90 feet is Casey Metzger. He moves to third, and it's going to be the task of Chrysler to retire Kyle Dacus here with 2 outs and a runner 90 feet away.
Now that you mention it, I do believe we played Miami of Ohio. So,
yeah, I was about to say, because it's probably, what's the drive between Nashville and here? Probably 4 hours?
Yeah, 4 or 5 hours. It's not too bad.
Swing and a miss. First pitch, fastball, upper outside part of the plate. 0-1 goes the count. The batter, Dacus from Wright State University. 1 for 2 on the day. A single in the first. He reached on a fielder's choice in the second, both times coming around to score. 2 outs here in the top of the third, and Chrysler lays a fastball right down the pipe, and he's ahead in this count. 0-2. Dacus from Wright State, 245 hitter on the year, 7 RBIs. Did not play. He redshirted his freshman year at Wright State. 0-2 pitch, breaking ball, and that one is going to be taken on the outside. Moves the count 1-2. Scouts trailing 5-0 in this one. Chrysler, the 1-2 pitch. And that one's lifted in the air towards left, but Adrian Marquez has it, makes the grab for out number 3. So no runs on 1 hit and 1 man left aboard. We have reached the middle of the third, and the Scouts, they trail the Cincinnati Steam by a score of 5-0. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back. You are listening to the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. We go to the bottom of the third inning. It's Andrew Alix here alongside Chandler Adkins at Grady's Field in Xenia. The Scouts trailing by a score of 5-0 at the hands of the Cincinnati Steam, and the Steam starter, Shane Smith. He has looked good through 2. Has retired the Scouts in order 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but now it's the 7, 8, 9 hitters due up here in the home half of the third. That's Adrian Marquez, Kerry Holloway, and Aaron Valance. The first pitch to Queso. Swing there, fouls that one right back towards the Cincinnati dugout on the first base side. The count goes 0-1. Marquez, a 263 hitter on the year. That's 3 doubles, a triple, and 5 home runs. He has homered in both of the last 2 games. 0-1, and Queso takes a big hack there, swinging and missing. Falling behind in this count, 0-2.
Yeah, Adrian's probably one of the best 7-hole hitters you're going to find in this league. Playing over at Wright State. Played a little bit this year.
And has a lot of power potential as he fouls the 0-2 pitch straight back, just missing that one. And we have seen it, and Chandler, it seems like every time that you tie his home run number, he hits a home run later in the game to one-up you. He has 5 on the year. You have 4. Breaking ball comes up and in. Marquez takes all the way there, moves the counter, ball and 2 strikes. And he had quite a day yesterday, a 3-hit day with, I believe it was 3 or 4 RBIs. As he fouls 1-2 pitch back towards the Cincinnati dugout. And I mentioned this yesterday, but Marquez, a former member of the Cincinnati Steam, he played with them last summer, and I think we've gotten the better version of Adrian Marquez. As the 5 home runs for us, as he lines that one deep into the left center gap, and that one's going to drop. Marquez is at first, and he takes a big round of first, but he's going to stay put. But let me tell you, Chandler, Adrian Marquez aboard with a single.
Yeah, he breaks up the no-hitter right there. Obviously a good player going the other way right there, taking what the pitcher's giving him with 2 strikes. That's a great job by Queso.
And nobody no-hits the Scouts, as Dave Naw would say.
That's right.
And the Scouts with the leadoff man aboard trying to get their way back into this one. And Marquez showing the human side of this pitcher, Shane Smith. Like I said, the first hit allowed by Smith all day, but that's going to bring Kerry Holloway to the plate. Holloway shows bunt, and that's a perfectly placed bunt. A slow roller down the third base line. Pitcher covering, throw on over to first is going to be very close, but they stay in time. The field umpire, Steve Horn, calls Kerry out at first. I don't know about that, but, regardless of the call, a perfectly executed sacrifice, that bunt there by Kerry.
Yeah, that's what you're looking to do there. If you're not going to be able to get to first, you're wanting to move that runner over, and he places that bunt and giving himself a chance to get to first base. Unfortunately, pretty close play over there at first, and pitcher makes a good play on the ball.
So Queso moves himself into scoring position, and that's going to bring Aaron Valance to the plate. Valance 159 on the year with 7 RBIs. Pickoff attempt back to second to try to get Marquez, and they almost did have him there, but the shortstop, Kyle Dawkins, who was covering the bag, couldn't hold on to the ball as he tried to tag out his Wright State teammate, Adrian Marquez. So a sigh of relief there for Adrian, who has been a base-stealing threat all year. He's second on the club in stolen bases, right behind Ryan O'Hearn. So Valance still awaiting the first pitch, and here it comes. Looks like a slider there, taken up for a called strike 1 outside part of the plate. Count moves 0-1. The Scouts with a runner at second here and 1 out. In the home half of the third, they trail this game 5-0. AV awaits the 0-1. Here it is, and check swing. Did he go? Home plate umpire Steve Hammond says yes, he did. So Valance falling behind the count, 0-2. Aaron, native of the state of Texas, he'll let you know about it. Played his first couple seasons with Wayland Baptist, heading to Division II West Texas A&M, and pickoff attempt to try to get Marquez at second. A terrible throw, sails into center field, and Adrian takes 90 feet there.
Well, that's just what happens when you got speed on the bases. Obviously, that shortstop playing at Wright State with Adrian's going to know that guy can steal bags, and they try to execute a pickoff play there, and it goes our way.
So now the Scouts' first run of the game is just 90 feet away, and the count's still 0-2 to Valance, who can score Marquez on just a high fly ball, and that a ground ball over towards second. Marquez is going to come home. The throw over to first to get Valance is in time, but a ground out from Aaron Valance brings home Adrian Marquez, and the Scouts cut the lead to 5-1. And all I saw there, that's perfectly executed small ball by the Scouts offense. And as we head back into the top of the order, the Scouts 7, 8, 9s doing their job and doing it well.
Yeah, that's what you want to do there. Just make contact with the ball, especially with 2 strikes. The last thing you want to do is strike out. You want to move the ball there and try to get that run in.
So now with 2 away, it's back to the top of the order, and Ryan O'Hearn. O'Hearn, he grounded out over towards first base, his first time up. He awaits the first pitch now, and he lines that one over towards second. Beckner takes it on 1 hop and tosses it over to first in time for out number 3. But the Scouts with 1 run on 1 hit and nobody left aboard. We have played 3 innings, and Xenia trails Cincinnati by a score of 5-1. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back. You are listening to the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. We head into the top of the fourth inning. The Scouts trailing this game 5-1, and Jacob Chrysler in for his third inning of work. First pitch. That one's fouled right back into the screen. The batter, Jake Richmond. Richmond from Northern Kentucky University. He's 1 for 1 on the day, a single and a walk. Has come home to score a run. Richmond 3-12 on the year with 35 RBIs. And breaking ball comes on the inside this time. Evens the count up. 1 ball, 1 strike. Scouts scored in the home half of the third. Adrian Marquez creating a run in a small ball situation. That's Chrysler's 1-1 pitch. Missing a low, says the home plate umpire, so he falls behind in this count, 2-1. 2-1 pitch delivers low and away. So the batter, Jake Richmond, finds himself in a hitter's count here in the top of the fourth. The 3-1 pitch, and that one's hit high and foul. Out of play over the dugout on the first base side, so Chrysler works the count full.
Yeah, that ball's hit down by the concession stand, starting to make me hungry here in the fourth inning. I wouldn't mind a cheeseburger. What about you?
I could use a cheeseburger as well, and I feel like the only thing I eat is Chipotle, for better or worse. 3-2 pitch, and that one is in there for a called strike 3. He got him looking. So Jacob Chrysler rings up Jake Richmond, the battle of the Jakes, going to the car rather than the city in Virginia. And now with the one away, it's going to bring Cole Murphy to the plate. Murphy, I don't even know how to rule his day because it's a sac fly and then reaching on catcher's interference. So 0 for 0, I guess. First pitch from Chrysler taken just off the plate. The count 1-0. Murphy, like we said, the big power threat from the University of Cincinnati. And 1-0 pitch, that one taken low, ball 2. One down in the top of the fourth here. Chrysler. Here comes the 2-0 pitch. And big swing and a miss there from Murphy. Moves the count, 2 balls, 1 strike.
Yeah, if you're going to face this guy, you definitely want to face this guy with nobody on base because obviously he has the power to hit it over the wall.
And that one, a grounder over towards second. Holloway playing deep in the hole. He dives but can't get there, and that ball rolls into center field. A base hit for Cole Murphy. And once again, the Steam just finding holes in the infield all over the place. And
yeah, another weak hit ball, but with Murphy, we had a shift on over to the right side. Obviously, he's a pull hitter and went right back up the middle and got him a hit.
So 1 on and 1 out now, the batter, Dallas Hall. Hall, he robbed a home run from Colt Wolf in the home half of the third. Playing in that shorter fence to left center field area, not the really short fence in left, but a very athletic move from the center fielder from Miami of Ohio, who's 1 for 2 on the day. Breaking ball.
Yeah, showing why he's an all-star.
Well, absolutely, and I guess that shows it a little bit more than the 290 average. There's some better outfielders out there, but you got to give someone's. And with the Hamilton Joes infield getting every spot there as Hall rips that one right into center field, just once again finding holes in the infield, and a pretty hard hit ball, but the second hit of the inning off Chrysler, and now 2 on and 1 out, and Chrysler finds himself in the biggest self-induced jam that he has so far. I mean, obviously he came in with the bases loaded, but that is certainly not self-induced. But now with 2 on and 1 out, Brandon Giltro to the plate. Chrysler has faced off against Giltro once before, and he struck him out swinging for out number 2 in the second. But a big out here that he needs to try to get. Giltro 1 for 2 on the day. He singled off of Caleb Fernholtz in the top of the first. We're in the top of the fourth now. 2 on and 1 out. The right-handed pitcher, Chrysler, against Brandon Giltro. He hits from the right side. First pitch. And that one's going to find a gap past the second baseman, Kerry Holloway, and roll into right. Jeremy Barth rockets it in to prevent the lead runner Cole Murphy from having any ideas about going home, but 3 straight singles for the Cincinnati Steam, and they have loaded the bases with 1 out here. And with Ethan Schmidt coming to the plate, one of the weaker hitters in the Cincinnati order, Chrysler hopefully trying to induce a ground ball double play. No action in the bullpen for the Scouts. This is going to be all Chrysler.
Yeah, I mean, back home at Lipscomb University, pitching staff talks about how crucial it is to get at least 1 double play game. So if we can get that here, that would be huge.
First pitch, breaking ball, finds the zone, and you look at the games where the Scouts have been successful. And Noah Jones, the left-handed pitcher / broadcaster, I mean, he doesn't overpower guys, but he forces a lot of ground balls, and every time he gets himself into a jam, it's just a slow roller over towards Valance, and the middle infield can turn that and get him out of really any problem. And that's how he can put up so many scoreless innings.
Yeah, that's definitely huge.
That pitch fouled right back into the screen. Moves the count, a ball and 2 strikes now to Ethan Schmidt. Schmidt just finishing up his freshman year with the Xavier Musketeers. He hit .224 there with 9 RBIs over 76 at-bats with the Big East school. That's located just down the road in Cincinnati, but 1 ball, 2 strikes. Chrysler, he sets, delivers, and that one, they say it got a piece of Ethan Schmidt's elbow, so a hit by pitch with the bases loaded brings a runner home to score and puts another run on the board for the Cincinnati Steam, and ahead in the count. That's one that Chrysler's going to want back.
Bubba Cates comes out, talk to the home plate umpire, see what he really saw.
And I believe that is the first earned run, or no, the second earned run given up by Chrysler, and he has 2 runs have come home, one of them the balk-off against the Richmond Jazz, and now a hit by pitch with the bases loaded. So Chrysler has allowed runs thus far in pretty unconventional ways, but that didn't look to me like a hit by pitch finitely, and Bubba doesn't seem to like the call very much at all.
Yeah, I mean, it looked to me like it hit off maybe his hand or the knob of the bat. I don't know.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking, the knob of the bat.
That's a tough call there for the home plate umpire, but
and especially when the Scouts are trying to get back into this game. A missed call there is a very big deal, especially against a bottom of the order hitter like Schmidt. But he's aboard with a hit by pitch. Give him an RBI for it. And now the base is still loaded with 2 outs for Dan Chmielewski. We talk about the double play, and Chmielewski's 0 for 2 on the day, a 6-3 and a 4-3 ground out. So sets it up well here with the bases loaded. And 1 out in the top of the 4th. That one is grounded over towards third. John Sharp throws home, but the throw just a little bit low, and Evan McDonald can't handle it. The run comes in to score, and just a high chopper over towards third, and John, he came in and had to make a snap decision and had the right idea because he had time, but the throw just a little bit off the mark there, and that's a tough one.
Well, it looks like Evan McDonald made a good play there, and they ended up getting the out at the plate.
Oh, they're saying he got the force. See, that's my first mistake of the game there. I'm a moron, but true. So, yeah, good job, John. You didn't make a bad throw. 2 outs here, and I think they don't let me sleep enough at this job. Maybe that's it. But 1 ball, no strikes with 2 outs here. Bottom of the 4th, the base is still loaded. John making a good play there, and now it's Casey Metzger, the 9 hitter, to the plate. Ball and a strike at the count after Chrysler got him to swing and miss there. 4 outs at home. That's a thing. 1-1. Swing and a miss.
We are in the top of the 4th, and the Cincinnati Steam already have 12 hits. So they're seeing the ball well today.
Well, yeah. They probably. And I wish we could take some of those 10 runs from yesterday and just throw them on the board. But the 0-2 pitch from Chrysler, that one is in there for a call. Strike 3, he got him. So Jacob Chrysler gets Casey Metzger looking. His 3rd strikeout of the day. And that is going to retire the Cincinnati Steam here in the top of the 4th. The Steam with 1 run on 3 hits and 3 men left aboard. We have played 3.5 innings of baseball, and Cincinnati leads Xenia by a score of 6-1. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back. You're listening to the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. We've reached the home half of the fourth. Andrew Alix here alongside Chandler Adkins in the booth at Grady's Field. The Scouts trailing the Cincinnati Steam by a score of 6-1. And it's going to be John Sharpin to lead things off for the Scouts. First pitch to John. He takes on the outside, a breaking ball. The count moves 1-0. John, his first time up, he went down swinging. Then he takes 1-0 down the plate, a called strike. John, 325 average on the year. That is tops on the Scouts, and he hits a sharp grounder over towards short, but moving over is the shortstop. Dacus throws on over to first in time. So out number one there. Mark it down as a 6-3 in your books, and with one away, it's going to bring Jeremy Barth to the plate. Barth, 0 for 1 on the day. He flew out in foul territory to the third baseman, Ethan Schmidt, his first time up, and Barth, who is trying to get back on track at the plate, takes a first pitch strike on the inside. The Steam put up another run in the top half of the fourth as the 0-1 pitch comes way inside to Barth, evens up the count 1-1, but that run came on a bases loaded hit by pitch that was very questionable. And Jeremy hits a grounder over towards the second baseman, who takes a couple steps over, throws over to first, and they're going to call that one in time. Out number two, a 4-3 and a 6-3 to get us started here, and now with two quick outs.
Yeah, I mean, we're not putting any pressure on this pitcher to make good pitches. We seem to be swinging early and often, and it's going to be tough to come back in the game if we can't string some hits together.
We'll get you the pitch count on this guy, Shane Smith, as soon as we can, but a first pitch breaking ball to Evan McDonald missing on the outside. The count goes 1-0. Smith working quickly, and a swinging bunt back towards the mound. Smith fields it, throws over to first in time for out number 3. So a very, very quick bottom of the fourth. No runs on no hits and nobody left aboard for the Scouts. We have played for, and the Scouts trail the Cincinnati Steam by a score of 6-1. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back. You're listening to the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. We go into the top of the 5th inning now. It's Andrew Alix alongside Chandler Adkins and Jacob Chrysler out for another inning of work. Chrysler has allowed 1 earned run through 3 innings, and he's in to face the top of the order for the Cincinnati Steam with Zach Beckner, Kyle Dawkins, and Jake Richmond due up. First pitch to Beckner. That one finds the zone. A called strike 1. Beckner from Kent State University. 2 for 3 on the day. A single, a double, and a ground out back to the mound. And that one delivers low and away. Evens up the count. 1 ball, 1 strike. We're here in the 5th, and the Steam are batting for the 4th time through the lineup. And you mentioned the 12 hits earlier. 6 runs on 12 hits. And, it's just working this order here. And the Scouts who are just halfway through their 2nd time through the order. As that one is lined into right field, a base hit. Jeremy Barth in front of it. So it's going to keep Beckner at first, but he has 3 hits on the day. And the leadoff man aboard for the Cincinnati Steam for the 3rd time in 5 innings.
Yeah, that guy's doing a good job. He's shown the ability to get hits to all sides of the field, pulling the ball down the line and going the other way with that one. So doing a good job today, seeing the ball well.
Absolutely. And Beckner, who's a .316 hitter on the year, a guy who has had a degree of success all season, but pickoff move to start things off. Checking out the out-of-town scoreboard here, Licking County leading Richmond 5-0 in the top of the 2nd. That's no surprise. They're in the bottom of the 12th at the Pipe Yard in Lorain County, and the Ironmen and the Lima Locos are all tied up at 7. Breaking ball on the outside. That gets past Evan McDonald, allows Beckner to take a base on the passed ball. So the Steam move a runner into scoring position. Chrysler, 53 pitches in now. Facing off against Kyle Dawkins. Thinking about available pitchers as Chrysler sends the ball over to the field umpire and sends it back. Chrysler with the smile. 1-0 the count to Dawkins here with a runner on 2nd and nobody out in the top of the 5th. The Scouts, they trail by a score of 6-1. Scouts have a game lead coming into this final game before the All-Star break. They're a game up on the Hamilton Joes. The Joes are in action later tonight. That pitch is grounded over towards Aaron Valance at short. Valance looks to the runner at 2nd, holds him, and then throws on over to 1st in time. That's out number 1. It's a good job by Valance there. The shortstop preventing the runner at 2nd from advancing. And now with 1 away, it's going to bring Jake Richmond to the plate. Richmond, 1 for 2 on the day. He went down looking his last time up just an inning ago. A single and a walk on the day as well. So Chrysler, righty-righty matchup here. Here's the first pitch. And Jake, fastball inside part of the plate for a called strike. Chrysler now 55 pitches in. Jake has a .35 ERA on the season. Through 26 innings pitched, he has struck out 12. 0-1. And Jake attacks the zone yet again, so he's ahead in this count, 0-2 to the Northern Kentucky University designated hitter. Is Northern Kentucky in the Atlantic Sun? Or is that the OVC that they play in?
Northern Kentucky was in the Atlantic Sun. I believe the year that I came to Lipscomb, they moved out of the Atlantic Sun.
It's a Division I program for sure. As that pitch is fouled over towards the bullpen on the Cincinnati Steam side. The count's going to stay 0-2. Richmond, 35 RBI man on the year. And a big out here for Jacob Chrysler. Every out a big out when you're trying to come back from a 5-run deficit. We saw it last night, and it's possible, of course. I mean, the Scouts went from trailing by 5 to having a 7-run lead in what seemed like just a very fluid motion, but it was also, from what I could tell, a big momentum swing, starting with a small ball run in the third inning with the double from you, and then, of course, your home run puts us down by just 2. And at that point, the bats are going, and everyone's starting to see the ball well against that pitcher who, he struck out 10 of the 11 batters he got out, throwing 95 pitches and allowing 5 earned runs. A very weird situation, but Chrysler gets Richmond to swing and miss there. A strikeout for out number 2.
Well, baseball's a funny game. I mean, being down, it just takes one guy to a lot of spark, a lot of fire underneath the team. And last night we were able to do that.
And it looks like they are going to intentionally walk Cole Murphy, as McDonald immediately calling for it. And catcher's decision there seems like, but not a bad decision at all, as we know the power that Murphy has. So we're going to let him throw the 4 pitches and just hope that this is not one of those weird situations where there's an intentional walk pass ball. And in Major League Baseball, they're changing the rule going into next season that all you got to do is say, I want to intentionally walk him, and he can go.
Yep, that's a new rule. So hopefully that comes down into the NCAA and even in all aspects of college baseball.
And so intentional walk puts Cole Murphy aboard. So now the Steam with runners at first and second with 2 outs. And Dallas Hall coming to the plate. Dallas Hall, he's reached base all 3 times as well. Couple of singles, and actually, no, he's 3 for 3. Because I wrote it down as an error, but.
Well, for whatever reason, with 2 outs, Evan felt like they have a better chance of getting this guy out than they did Cole Murphy.
And righty-righty matchup versus lefty-righty matchup, and, Murphy just a better player. So Evan taking a little bit of a gamble here, or just a move based on his own decision. The first pitch to Dallas Hall is taken low and away. The 1-0 pitch, that one's low as well. 2 outs here in the top of the 5th inning. Runners on first and second. Scouts trailing by a score of 6-1. Jacob Chrysler, the pitcher. The batter, Dallas Hall, the center fielder from Miami University. The 2-0 pitch coming now. Here it is. Breaking ball, that one does find the zone for a called strike. Hall, 3 for 3 today, 0 for 5 yesterday, so how times can change.
Well, he makes the move up from the bottom of the order to the 5 spot today, giving him a little confidence, maybe a smart move by that coach.
And hard foul ball on the 2-1 pitch, going to go way out of play on the left field side. Hall 3 for 3, but his greatest contribution of the afternoon, the robbed home run in center field, where he took home run number 4, snatching it right out of the bank from Colt Wolf.
It was a nice play.
Evens up the count 2-2 now after that foul ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs there. 2 runners on base there at first and second. Here in the top of the 5th. And Hall calls time there. Now Chrysler, he looks to the catcher, Evan McDonald. That's what he wants. Here's the 2-2 pitch. And that one fouled hard again on the right field side this time into those rolling hills.
Back over next to the concession stand, as I mentioned before.
The concession stand, maybe see if, do you have Stacy's number? You could probably make her go get us food. 2 balls, 2 strikes to count. Here it is again. And swung on and missed strike 3. He got him. So Jacob Chrysler fans Dallas Hall for out number 3 here in the top of the 5th. No runs on 1 hit and 2 men left aboard. We have reached the middle of the 5th. The Scouts trailing the Cincinnati Steam by a score of 6-1. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back. You're listening to the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. The Scouts trailing 6-1 here as we head into the bottom of the 5th inning. It's Andrew Alix here alongside Chandler Adkins. And the Scouts trying to fight their way back into this game. And they're going to send Colt Wolf to the plate to get things started here against Shane Smith. Smith for his 5th inning of work. Wolf, his first time up, took the first pitch deep into center field, but it was Dallas Hall who stole a home run from him. And Wolf going after the first pitch yet again, this time not as much success. Fouls it right back over the screen. The count goes 0-1.
Chinese home run right there, hitting it over the Wong fence.
0-1. Breaking ball. Taken just upstairs, evens the count up a ball and a strike. Wolf, it's amazing that pitchers in this league continue to throw him fastballs. As he laces that fastball, a one-hopper over towards the 6-hole, backhanded by the shortstop Kyle Dawkins, who makes a great throw over to first for out number 1. So where the Scouts have been unable to find the holes in the infield is where the Cincinnati Steam have found all their success. And
2 hard hit balls by Colt today.
Yeah, and just Colt Wolf, who, 2, like you said, hard hit balls that could go either way. I mean, for the first out, it's going to go. That's out 19 out of 20 times. For that hard ground ball over towards short, that'll get past him sometimes. But now Caleb Bloy steps in. First pitch, a curveball inside part of the plate. Taken in there for a ball. So 1-0 the count to Bloy. Bloy, his first time up, he grounded out over to second. He fouls off a low and baseline. Evens up the count 1-1. Bloy had a 2-hit day the other day, and after struggling earlier in this season, he's really starting to find his groove at the plate. And he laces that right. So and the Scouts with just their second hit of the afternoon. But like I said, Bloy, a guy who was really struggling earlier in the season, but it's slowly and progressively gotten better for him. And, a date that I like to remember is a day that Bloy technically took it after the game. All those balls were hit hard, and you see the progress that's being made. And, now finally, as we head into this final stretch of the season, having Bloy, his offensive production at the plate is going to be a big weapon that the Scouts can use. Just another batter in the lineup. At first pitch, Adrian Marquez takes that very high, but very deep, but also very foul. So Adrian Marquez put that down on the foul ball home run leaderboard. He's just 15 behind Evan McDonald now. The count 0-1. Marquez tanked that ball foul. Second pitch, and he hits that one high in the air. It's going to be foul on the third base line. The third baseman, Ethan Schmidt, chased it all the way to the fence by the Scout bullpen, but he watches it fly. Queso behind in the count, 0-2. Adrian, he hit a single his first time up, the first hit of the day for the Scouts. 1 on and 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th. Scouts trailing 6-1. Marquez trying to help the Scouts claw their way back into this game. 0-2. Here it comes. Queso takes on the outside, moves the count 1-2.
Already 1 hit for Adrian today. If he can string another one together, we might have something going here at the bottom of the 5th.
And, you just got to do what you can, tack on runs where you can, and breaking ball, they're going to ring him up, a called strike 3. So a close call on the upper outside part of the zone. And a good thing he was just calling for balls. For a second, I thought he was put his hands up. I thought he was throwing Adrian out. I'm like, you draw another line in the dirt, brother.
Yeah, we don't want that.
Yeah, not again. That was a while ago, though. That was all the way on, earlier mid-June. Now Carey to the plate with 2 outs and 1 on. First pitch to Holloway. That one finds the zone. Carey, a sacrifice bunt his first time up. Very well-placed sacrifice bunt that many in the stands would argue was a hit. But disagreeing was the umpire in the field, and Carey takes up and away on the 0-1 pitch, evens up the count, 1 ball and 1 strike. With 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th, Caleb Bloy's over at first. Holloway, he took a 3-for-6 day yesterday. 3 hits, also struck out 3 times, so getting the best of both worlds. But he swings and misses there. Moves the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes. It's Kerry Holloway at the plate. Aaron Valance on deck if we can get to him. Scouts trailing 6-1 in this one. Trying to break the franchise record for wins in a season. Holloway lays off a low and away ball. Evens to the count, 2-2. Kerry from Andrew Collins. It's a JUCO in the state of Georgia. Looking to play one more year there and then hopefully transfer to a more permanent home. 2-2. Low and away. The count goes full. Holloway working himself back into this count. Kerry, a .274 hitter on the year. Another guy who struggled earlier in the season, not for very long, but he was a sub-200 guy for maybe the first couple of weeks, but immediately kind of found his groove, and he's been in the mid to high 200s range ever since. Runner goes, and Bloy, grounder over towards short. Shortstop Dacus, long throw over to first. Did Holloway beat him? I think he did. The umpire doesn't think so. Mark it down as a 6-3, and that's going to be out number 3. So no runs on 1 hit and 1 man left. We have played 5, and the Scouts, they trail the Cincinnati Steam by a score of 6-1. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back. You are listening to the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. New pitcher in for the Scouts as we head into the top of the 6th inning. It's going to be Mr. Kyle Bruner. Kyle Bruner from Grace College in the state of Indiana. And he is kind of shared between a starting and a bullpen role as a pitcher after kind of coming into the season about halfway through because he was out with a high ankle sprain for the first couple of weeks. But Bruner, a 3.05 ERA on the season. That's with a 1-2 record. Over 17 2/3 innings pitched. He has struck out 8 and walked just 1. So Bruner, a meeting at the mound with the entire infield. That's kind of odd to start it off that way. Don't usually see that, but
Yeah, Evan loves to have meetings at the mound.
in the 6th inning of play here, Scouts trail 6-1. Trying to claw their way back into this one. We've seen it done before. Just ask the Southern Ohio Copperheads. First pitch breaking ball. That one finds the zone, a called strike. It was interesting. Last night, me and Noah, we were following the game and with the Copperheads and the Hamilton Joes online as the 0-1 pitch comes here. Breaking ball on the outside. And Copperheads were winning 4-2, and we're following the game live online. And we see the Copperheads were throwing Riley O'Brien, the big, tall lefty who can't find a curveball into the zone. And I was like, oh, no, it's over. The Joes are going to win. But, of course, O'Brien, who, famously walked like basically every scout batter he ever faced and handed us 3 wins. He threw 14 pitches, all for strikes in a scoreless inning. So he came through when we needed him, but that pitch is laced into center field, and that's going to be a base hit. So the leadoff man aboard again for the Cincinnati Steam, and it's just kind of been an issue all throughout. But you pitch differently with runners on base, and the scout staff has been pitching with runners on base essentially the entire game. But now it's going to be Ethan Schmidt to the plate with 1 on and nobody out here in the top of the 6th. And Schmidt, he's 1 for 2 on the day, a single in the first, flew out in the second, an RBI hit by pitch with a big question mark on it back in the fourth. But first pitch curveball from Bruner, taken low and away, ball number 1. 1-0 the count to Xavier's Ethan Schmidt. Here's the pitch. And that curveball does find the zone. Evens the count up, a ball and a strike.
I know Kyle, man, he really works off of that curveball. If he can throw that pitch for a strike, then he's tough to hit for sure.
1-1 the count. Bruner delivers. And he goes fastball that time, about belt high on the inside part of the plate, finds the zone for a called strike 2. So Bruner ahead in the count, a ball and 2 strikes. Schmidt, he awaits the 1-2. And Bruner goes with the curveball again, this time off the plate, and that's going to even up the count 2-2. Kyle Bruner, Grace College, that's an NAIA school. And 2-2 pitch. Are they saying he balked?
Yeah, unfortunately, he didn't come set. Just kind of didn't come to a stop when he came set. And
so balk advanced the runner into scoring position. So a runner in scoring position with nobody out. The count, 2 balls, 2 strikes still. Giltro, the runner at second. Here's the 2-2 pitch to Schmidt, and breaking ball that time just inside. Bruner may have missed his spot there, or may have been trying to jam up Schmidt on the inside, but regardless, not the result. He balls 2 strikes, now the count. Bruner, he looks to the catcher, Evan McDonald. He comes set and delivers. And that one in there for a called strike 3. He got him looking. So Kyle Bruner, he gets Ethan Schmidt looking, and this home plate umpire, Steve Hammond, likes to wait a really long time. Gives you about 4 or 5 seconds of an awkward pause before he decides whether he's rung you up or you're heading over to first. Definitely adds to the drama, and umpires are certainly some of the biggest drama queens in sports. But now Dan Chmielewski to the plate, and he goes after the first pitch, a high pop-up in foul territory. The third baseman, John Sharp, comes under it and makes the grab. A big, important out number 2 there. And Bruner, who allowed the single and the walk, or in the balk, I should say, now has to just retire the Casey Metzger to get himself out of this top of the 6th inning unscathed. Now Metzger, he's from Thomas More College, small college in the suburb of Cincinnati. He is 1 for 2 on the day, a double in the third. He's struck out swinging and looking. His other 2 times up. First pitch breaking ball from Bruner. That one finds the outside part of the plate for a called strike.
Evan does a good job framing that pitch on the outside corner right there. Probably helping Bruner's cause get a strike right there.
And Evan was telling me that one of the guys that he looks to when it comes to framing pitches is Mets catcher Travis d'Arnaud. We were watching a game on Sunday Night Baseball, and he was just showing me how impressive it was the way that d'Arnaud frames those, and all those major league guys catching up there. That is such a thankless job, I guess, but you're making millions of dollars, so it's not that thankless. Bruner misses with fastball on the outside, evens up the count, of ball, strike. And you're a catcher, or a catcher of the past, or a retired catcher? What would you define yourself?
I am a catcher. I'm a catcher back home, and I am a catcher here, but unfortunately we're running low on infielders, so we are been primarily playing at third base.
And going into, at school, you think that your future with Lipscomb is as a corner infielder or as a catcher? Like, what do you see yourself more likely to break into the lineup as?
Well, I try not to worry about that. I just try to worry about hitting the ball and forcing my way into the lineup so that I can help my team win. And that ball is hitting the air, high center. O'Hearn tracks under it and makes the grab for out number 3. So 1 run, or no hits, but 1 run. No, come on, isn't it here? No runs, but 1 hit. And 1 man left aboard. We have reached the middle of the 6th. And
This job really should give me more sleep. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back. You are listening to the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. We go into the bottom of the 6th inning. It's Andrew Alix here alongside Chandler Adkins at Grady's Field in Xenia. The Scouts trailing this game by a score of 6-1. And it's going to be the starting pitcher, Shane Smith, now to pitch his 6th inning of work for the Cincinnati Steam. And, you know, why not? Through 5 innings, he's allowed 1 run on 2 hits. As opposed to the Steam, through 6 innings, they have 6 runs on 14 hits. So the tables have turned offensively, but no deficit that the Scouts can't easily overcome here, as they have 4 innings coming up to the plate. And obviously the Scouts who put up 7 runs in an inning yesterday, anything can happen. So Aaron Valance steps in to lead things off here. First pitch, fastball outside part of the plate. He waves and misses at that one. And 1. AV, he has come to the plate once before, grounding out right back to the pitcher, Shane Smith. 0-1, and time called there by the umpire. So everyone steps out, and now Valance, he steps back in. The 0-1 pitch now. And Valance fouling that one hard on the first base side, and the first baseman Murphy chased all the way to the wall, but watches that one fly in the rolling hills towards the concession stand. I can see my host brother there, little guy running over and getting the foul ball. Because here at Xenia, foul balls equal candy, as opposed to getting to keep the foul balls, which is a pretty good deal too. But swing and a miss on the 0-2 pitch. Valance goes down swinging for out number 1. That is the 3rd strikeout issued by Shane Smith. And that's out number 1 here. Let's get you the pitch count on Shane Smith. And a very, very low pitch count. He has thrown just 61 pitches through 5 1/3. So the Scouts need to run up this guy's pitch count, see if they can get into the bullpen. And Ryan O'Hearn comes in back to the top of the order the 3rd time through. O'Hearn, he's 0 for 2 on the day. 229 on the year. Still needs to draw a walk today. I'm waiting on that. O'Hearn swinging and missing it. The 0-1 pitch. He falls behind in the count. 0-2. 1 out here in the bottom of 6th inning. Scouts trail by a score of 6-1. The 0-2 pitch, and Ryan lays off there. That one made it 60 feet. Couldn't get the extra 6 inches. The count moves a ball and 2 strikes. Flying Ryan O'Hearn. He awaits, and that one is driven high in the air towards center. The center fielder, Dallas Hall, tracking. He makes the grab for out number 2. So O'Hearn is retired, and now with 2 away, it's going to bring John Sharp to the plate. Sharp, he's 0 for 2 on the day. trying to get a 2-out hit. And Corey Coombs, he's emphasized this throughout the season, just not rolling over in innings with 2 outs. John attacks first pitch, fouls it right back into the screen. The count moves 0-1. Sharp, 325 on the year, 12 RBIs. He does have 2 home runs. 0-1 pitch, and John takes on the inside that time. He's going to even the count up, a ball and a strike. Breaking ball on 1-1, and that one does find the zone. So John falls behind in this count 1-2. Here's a 1-2 pitch, and good take there by John. Curveball off the plate. And working the count, evens up the count 2-2. 2 down here in the bottom of the 6th. Shane Smith, he delivers. And that one in the dirt, the count's going to go full.
John doing a good job, seeing a lot of pitches, making this guy throw some pitches. That's what you want to see, especially this late in the game, him not throwing very many pitches.
3 balls, 2 strikes with 2 outs. The pitch, and John rips that one right into the glove of the third baseman, Ethan Schmidt, for out number 3. So a hard hit ball by John Sharp, but where the Steam have found the holes in the infield, the Scouts have gotten unlucky, and that's just baseball for you folks. No runs on no hits, and nobody left aboard. We have played 6th, and the Scouts trail by a score of 5-1. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. You are listening to the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. Back here in the top of the 7th, the Scouts, they trail by a score of 6-1, and the pitcher, Kyle Bruner, he's coming out for his 2nd inning of work. He threw a scoreless frame after allowing a leadoff hit his last time out. And now it's back to the top of the order with Beckner, Dacus, and Richmond all coming up for their 5th time of the game. Beckner to the plate right now. He is 3 for 4, really seeing the ball well all day. And first pitch to him, that one finds the zone. Strike 1. Andrew Alix and Chandler Adkins here at Grady's Field in the bicycle capital of the Midwest, Xenia, Ohio. 0-1. Breaking ball, and that one is lined, but John Sharp diving and gets in front of it. A very athletic play by John covering the hot corner. Makes the grab, and that's out number 1.
Yeah, John getting a little payback from his hard hit ball, hit to third base, and that makes a diving grab right there. That's a great job.
And good work defensively for John, a guy who, we have seen him be the jack of all trades in the outfield throughout, or in the field throughout this season. He is kind of covered wherever needed to be covered all throughout this year. So now second batter to the plate, first pitch to him, in there for a call. Kyle Bruner has returned straight. The 0-1 pitch. And breaking ball finds the zone. A called strike 2. So Burner, like you said, attacking with that curveball. And it's worked wonders for the kid. And that one plunks him. And he's going to take his base. So a hit by pitch, the first by Kyle Bruner, the second we have seen this game. And now 1 on and 1 out. It's going to bring the 3-hole hitter Jake Richmond to the plate. So Richmond.
That's not what you're looking to do there. Once you get a guy 0-2, unfortunately, curveball hangs up and hits him.
So Richmond steps in. He bats from the right side against the righty. 1 for 3 on the day, a couple of strikeouts, 1 swinging, 1 looking. He has also singled and walked. First pitch on the outside and low. The count 1-0 here with 1 down here in the top of the 7th inning. The Scouts trailing this game by a score of 6-1. Scouts trying to win and either keep pace or extend their first place lead as we go into this final stretch of the season with the All-Star break coming up after tonight. Bruner pounds the zone there. Inside pitch. Evens the count up 1-1. Richmond, like we said, Northern Kentucky University. The broadcaster for the Cincinnati Steam, their version of me, he is the... I'm going to just not talk about that as that ball is lifted into the left center field gap and it's rolling to the wall. The left fielder Marquez is there, but Ryan O'Hearn's going to take it. Is going to be Kyle Dacus, and Jake Richmond slides into third with a triple. Still off the bat of Richmond, and that's just a tough one there but he really got a hold of that pitch.
Yeah, there's steal in there, so he was able to score easily. There was a close play over there at third. Unfortunately, unable to hang on and get the out at third, but good piece of hitting by number 3.
Yeah, so Richmond drives in a run. That's his second hit of the game. The score now 7-1 in favor of Cincinnati here in the top of the 7th inning. And now with 1 away, it's going to bring Cole Murphy to the plate. Murphy. First pitch on the inside. Murphy, a sac fly his first time up. His second time up, he reached on catcher's interference. His third time up, he singled, and his fourth time up, an intentional walk. So an odd day at the plate for him. But that pitch, low, good job by the catcher McDonald to get in front of it, prevent the runner at third is just 90 feet away from scoring. 1 out here in the top of the 7th. Cincinnati leading by a score of 7-1. 2 balls, no strikes. Here's the pitch. And that one's lifted high in the air towards left center. Marquez tracking. He comes under it and makes the grab. The runner third tagging up. Marquez's throw home is line, and Jake Richmond's going to score on the sacrifice fly. 7-1 turns 8-1 on the second sac fly of the afternoon by Cole Murphy. And out number 2 now, while the Scouts continue to find themselves in a deeper and deeper hole as we go later into this game. Tomorrow at 4 o'clock, the game resets to the Steam having their way early and have just been chipping away and tacking on a little bit more ever since. Kind of doesn't put the Scouts out of it by any means, but from a momentum standpoint, it's definitely swung in the favor of Cincinnati.
Absolutely. I mean, after that 4-run first inning, a lot of teams will be able to chip away and come back. But if you keep putting up a number every inning or every other inning like they're doing, then it's going to be tough to come back.
Ball in the dirt, and that one low and away. Scouts will bat through the lineup at least one more time. They'll send Barth, McDonald, and Wolf to the plate in the home half of the 7th. Hopefully can get something going, but the count 2 balls and a strike now with 2 outs. That ball fouled right back into the screen. Going to even the count up 2-2. The batter is Dallas Hall, the center fielder from Miami of Ohio. A 3-for-4 day for him, and Bruner looking to get himself out of this inning. In the top of the 7th, 2 balls, 2 strikes with 2 outs. Bruner sets and delivers, and breaking ball fouled hard. Down the third base line, we're going to do 2-2 again. We are about 2 hours exactly into this game. 6:05. This was a 4:05 Eastern Standard Time start. 2-2 again. And that ball not hit hard. Chasing into center is Ryan O'Hearn. Diving grab. Can't. The runner heading towards second. The throw to second is going to be, not in time. A tough one. The throw just pulled Aaron Valance off of line and wasn't able to get the tag down quickly enough, so mark it down as a single with the advance probably. I mean, I'll have to see how they rule that one officially. I'm actually the boss of the person who rules that one officially, so I can technically rule it, but see if they call. And
well, that ball not hit very hard into center field. Ryan O'Hearn, the speed center fielder, comes in hard and tries to make a diving play, and unfortunately unable to grab it, and given the center fielder from Miami of Ohio the ability to get to second base safely.
Oh, yeah, and they're going to mark it down as a double and talk about a tale of 2 different ball games for Dallas Hall. You know, yesterday taking the 0-for-4, and today he's 4-for-5 with an athletic play in the field, so a good one for his little resume, and he's at second now with that ball hit over towards third. John Sharp can't get there, and it's going to roll into left field. They're going to hold Dallas Hall at third, but another single there. That one off the bat of Brandon Giltro puts Cincinnati Steam at the corners with 2 outs here, and Cincinnati just continues to find the holes in this Xenia infield.
Yeah, that ball was smoked over towards the third baseman, John Boy over there, and unfortunately he's unable to get a glove on it.
So now it's Schmidt to the plate with runners at the corners and 2 out here in the top of the 7th. Cincinnati leads 8-1. First pitch breaking ball from Bruner. Well, that one upstairs and away. Bruner about 32 pitches in now. He's pitched an inning in 2/3. 1-0 the count. He delivers. Check swing. Did he go? They say he did not. So Kyle behind in this count, 2-0.
The runner at first is not much of a threat right here with 2 outs. It doesn't matter much anyway. You're just looking to get an out right here.
2-0 pitch. Swung on and missed there. Moves the count 2-1. Scouts, if you're wondering, they'll be back in action not for a minute and a half. We got the All-Star game on Tuesday. Tomorrow and Wednesday off because of the All-Star game. And Scouts will be back in action on Thursday for a big with the Hamilton. But Bruner delivers 2-1 fastball right down the pipe. Evens up the count, 2 balls, 2 strikes with 2 outs. But it's a couple of games with Hamilton, which will most likely decide who wins the division. Teams have been deadlocked all season, and then it's 3 games with Licking County with a 2-2 pitch, and that one on the outside, low and away. Good job by Evan McDonald to get in front of that one, as a passed ball there would have allowed another run to score. Count moves full. 3 balls, 2 strikes with 2 outs here in the top of the 7th.
Scouts have 4 All-Stars. A couple of great players I get to play with. It's awfully proud of them making the All-Star team.
And the 3-2 pitch on the outside. But, yeah, the Scouts are sending Evan McDonald, Jeremy Barth, Matthew Wade, and to the Midsummer Classic. And Scouts hoping that maybe they could have gotten a couple more, but looks like it's going to be Bubba Cates coming out to the mound, and this could be it for Kyle Bruner. The home plate lineup book, and we'll see if they take the ball.
Looks like Cecil's warming out.
So that could be an interesting change there. Cecil, who very, I mean, he's an okay lefty. He's a good lefty, but he struggles to find the zone, and not the guy I would bring in with the bases loaded just because of his walk to strikeout ratio. With the batter Chmielewski coming up to the plate, I don't know if he is a lefty or a righty. Actually, I can just look and say that he's a righty, but it looks like they're going to let Kyle Bruner pitch here. And Nick Cecil, actually a former member of the Cincinnati Steam, played alongside Adrian Marquez with the Steam last season. Had a number of appearances, an ERA of in the mid-threes, if I recall correctly, off the top of my head. But now with Chmielewski to the plate, and the base is loaded. Chmielewski is 0 for 3 on the day. First pitch. That one breaking ball finds the zone, a called strike. Or 0 for 4 on the day, check that. He has grounded out 3 times and lined out once. 0-1. The pitch from Bruner, breaking ball. Fouled straight back. So Kyle Bruner moving ahead in this count, 0-2. Dan Chmielewski, the right fielder from Michigan State University, famous Michigan State alumni, NBA baller Draymond Green. 0-2. And breaking ball, that's just a short chopper. Kerry Holloway gets there and takes it on the fly for out number 3. But 2 runs on 3 hits and 3 men left aboard. We have reached the middle of the 7th inning, and the Scouts trail the Cincinnati Steam by a score of 8-1. Don't go anywhere, folks. We will be right back. You are listening to the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. We go into the bottom of the 7th inning here. It's alongside Chandler Adkins. Field trailing of 8-1, and it's going to be the 3, 4, 5 hitters in the Xenia order here. Try chip back into this big Cincinnati lead and trying to give this team a run for their money. It's going to be the starting pitcher, Shane Smith, back out to pitch for the Cincinnati Steam. The Scouts on the season thus far, they have a 4-1 lead in the season series. So win or lose, the Scouts take the season series with the Cincinnati Steam. The Steam, a team who got off to such a hot start in the beginning of the season. They were like, I believe, 12-1 at one point, 12-2, but that was until they played the Scouts. So now Jeremy Barr steps in. He bats from the left side against the righty. First pitch coming now here. First pitch looks like a slider. Outside part of the plate for a called strike. Barth, he's 0 for 2 on the day. and he hacks at that one in the hole. The second baseman goes over, backhand turns, throws in time. Out number 2. Scouts unable to find those holes in the infield. Reoccurring theme, and just an unlucky day if you're hitting hard ground balls in a navy blue uniform. But now it's going to bring Evan McDonald to the plate with one down. McDonald, he is 0 for 2 on the day. Here's the first pitch. That one taken on the outside. The Scouts have managed just 2 hits today. One coming off the bat of Adrian Marquez in the third, and another coming from Caleb Bloy. Shane Smith having a great day from the mound. As I say that, he gets McDonald to swing and miss. Evens up the count. A ball and a strike with 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th. One, and Evan lifts that one high in the air into left field, but foul is tracking and
can't seem to find it out there. Falls foul.
Yeah, obstructed view from where we're sitting, but he kind of was dancing out there, the left fielder, Casey Metzger, that is, and he was dancing and doing all kinds of weird stuff, but didn't make the catch. So just mark it down as this long description of how we got there. Moves the count, a ball and 2 strikes now. McDonald's 0 for 2 on the day, a .258 hitter on the year, 13 doubles. 2 home runs, 21 RBIs. The 1-2 pitch now, and he lays off that ball low and in. Evens the count up 2-2. McDonald, we saw him hit a home run here just a couple of days ago. Here's the 2-2 pitch now. And Edwards third, the third baseman, Ethan Schmidt, takes it, and a bad throw over to first. That's going to get past the glove of Murphy, and that's going to roll over towards the dugout. McDonald advancing from first to second there, so the Scouts have a runner on board. Mark that down as an error. And Ethan Schmidt, who I don't believe to be a third baseman by natural position. I mean, I have followed Xavier baseball a tad bit just because my friend played for that squad, and I mean, he didn't even play that much in general, so what do I know? But I think he was more of a first baseman and filling in a designated hitter role. But now Colt Wolf to the plate with a runner in scoring position and 1 out. The first pitch, big breaking ball up and away.
Might be the spark that the Scouts needed to get a few runs up.
Yeah, just, you never know what it's going to be. So 1-0. Remember, Wolf, he got robbed of a home run earlier this game. And he takes slider. That one finds the zone. Evens up the count, a ball and a strike. Wolf is a .282 hitter on the year, making the jump to probably higher competition from his delve in college, but that's been that hard. Check swing on the outside. Did he go? Home plate umpire Hammond says, yeah, he did. Moves the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes now. McDonald taking a big lead over at second. Hoping that anything in the gap can bring the Scouts' second run home. 1-2, here's the pitch. And Wolf, check swing, did he go? Appeal to the field umpire says, no, he did not. So Steve Hammond couldn't come to a decision himself, so he goes to the field umpire, Steve Horn. And on a very close one, they give Wolf the benefit of the doubt. Evens at the count, 2 balls and 2 strikes here. Shane Smith, the pitcher, he looks to the catcher, Giltro, and he steps off as he sees McDonald taking a pretty big lead over there at second. McDonald not even going off the lead, I mean. But now 2-2 coming. Here it is. And breaking ball, that one's going to be grounded foul. We're going to do 2-2 again.
It being 8-1, I don't think this pitcher's too worried about it. But Evan over there at second base, I mean, pretty good base runner, but not a whole lot of speed over there at second base.
2 balls, 2 strikes. And Wolf waves and misses. Strike number 3. So Colt Wolf goes down swinging. Puts him at 0 for 3 on the day, and now it's going to be one of the 2 guys that have managed to hit so far today, and that's Caleb Bloy. He steps in. Caleb Bloy changed his song to Your Love by Outfield. Great walk-up song. That's a classic song. You know that song, Chandler? I don't want to use your love. Come on, that's a classic.
Yeah, that's a good
Gotta
song.
love the classic rock.
I always sing it when he walks up to the plate.
First pitch, and Bloy fouls that one straight back. The count moves 0-1. And I gotta say that I don't like to give myself too much credit for things, but when we did TV theme songs, that was a good day. The VeggieTales thing that happened the game before in that doubleheader, not as good of an idea. But swinging bunt, that ball rolling over towards the mound. Shane Smith covers, throws over to first in time. That's going to be out number 3, so no runs on no hits, 1 error, and 1 man left aboard. We have played 7 innings of baseball here at beautiful Grady's Field in Xenia. The Scouts trail this game by a score of 8-1. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back. You're listening to the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. We're back here in the something inning. We're having a little bit of a technical issue on our side, and I'm trying to get it fixed as soon as I possibly can. But, well, it's because I'm not talking into the microphone. I turned off the microphone part and made it so this is the thing. See if we can work it now. Andrew Alix and Chandler Adkins here, dealing with things as they come and as they go. But I think that we are back on now. And does that sound good to you folks? I bet it does. So an out was made. The pitcher is Nick Cecil. Cecil from Sinclair Community College. He's a lefty, and first pitch breaking ball fouled back. Cecil, his Achilles heel has been controlled throughout the season. But, you know, you talk to guys throughout the area and guys that have faced him, and when he has his stuff, he is a very effective pitcher. The 0-1 breaking ball, and that one is hit high in the air towards left. Going back is the left fielder Marquez, and that ball is gone. A solo home run off the bat of Zach Beckner, and his good day gets just a little bit better. And
he's just a triple away from the cycle, I think.
Sounds like something I said just yesterday. So a home run for Metzger, or not for Metzger, for Beckner. And Beckner, that puts him at 4 for 6 on the day. And like Chandler just said, a triple away from the cycle, but We saw it yesterday with you, Chandler, being a triple away from the cycle. That puts you, if you're trying for that, it's a weird approach to the plate, right? Like a triple sometimes. I mean, I guess it's possible at Grady's field as the stock as he takes up and away ball number 1.
You try not to be worried about those types of things. You're just trying to square up the have the ability to run all the way to
Cecil. He really lost that one there. Actually threw it behind Kyle Dacus. So, but yeah, I mean, I'm glad that you're not completely and totally focused on hitting the cycle in summer ball, because they're not going to put that on your tombstone. Well, that pitch from Cecil, that one missing just low. So 3 balls and no strikes the count to Kyle Dacus. Here's the pitch from Cecil, and that one is up and away, ball 4. So he walks Kyle Dacus on 4 pitches. And now let's bring Jake Richmond to the plate with 1 on and 1 out here in the top of the 8th. Cincinnati leads score of 9-1. And Cecil, like I mentioned, a former member of the Cincinnati Steam. And we'll see what he did back then in just a minute. But first pitch high, and Evan, the king of meetings at the mound and conversations, is having one now. Cecil, like we said, a Sinclair Community College guy. That team, they made it to the Community College World Series this year.
I believe that's St. Clair?
Yeah, Sinclair.
St. Clair, don't they play their home games here at Grady's Field?
They do. That they do. They play their home games at Grady's Field, and I was actually talking to Nick Cecil just a couple days ago, if you remember the pitch that at Cecil. There's a good pitch. Big swing and a miss there by Richmond. Got him to chase up and away. But Cecil's teammate was the guy, Tyler Kroles, who hit that home run off of, I believe it was Walter, that Queso almost robbed. But Kroles, who had just been such a monster playing with Sinclair, hitting like 350 there at this field. And that was his last game of the season, his last at-bat probably ever at Grady's Field, a home run. So that was a pretty cool
yeah, it's awesome.
Pretty cool end for him.
I know he's headed to Ohio State. I can remember him. He was a good player for Gallatin, right?
Gallion, yeah. And Gallion, it's funny. He had a lot of Division I guys on that team, and it wasn't like the Richmond Jazz. It's like a bunch of guys from schools you never heard of, and they're in last place, and you're like, oh, okay. But Gallion, a team that has some good prospects, and even though they're in last place, coming into the game that they played with us, they had won 6 of their last 10, and I believe they've still won 6 of the last 10, so they were at 1 point and half of that just comes out of not being in last, so they can get some redemption there. But and so now 2 on and 1 out. First pitch breaking ball, take ball 1. The batter, Cole Murphy from Cincinnati. We've given you the stats, and we'll give them to you again. 319, 11 doubles, 11 home runs, 34 RBIs. Make it 36 RBIs. He has 2 sacrifice flies for RBIs. Breaking ball on 1-0. Cecil finds the zone there. A called strike curveball on the inside part of the plate. Evens up the count. 1 ball and 1 strike with 1 out here in the top of the 8th.
Cole Murphy here is patting his stats a little bit today. Like you said, 2 sac fly RBIs and base hit up the middle, and doing a pretty good job so far. He's been able to spray the ball all over the field this game, using a little bit of his oppo power to get those sac flies in.
Yeah, and he is really and truly the perfect kind of player to play at that park that they play at over there in Cincinnati, yeah. Max McCleary Field. Because just with the with the high right field wall, but shallow. His opposite field power. He can hit a high fly ball when he needs to, and that is done. And account the 12 doubles for balls that probably, maybe just didn't get over the fence, but probably hit off the fence, and that's an extra base hit right there pretty much all the time. But Cecil, he delivers on the outside there, so 2 balls and a strike with 1 out, 2 on. Here in the top of the 8th, 9-1 the score in favor of Cincinnati, as Murphy, he takes a big hack there and hits one hard but foul on the right field side, so Cecil evens up the count 2-2. Now Cecil, who played for the Steam last year, and his numbers with them: 3.65 ERA over 15 2/3 innings pitched, but curveball hit high in the air to right. Jeremy Barth is tracking, makes the grab on the run, tagging from second is the runner, and the throw from Barth just high. Good job by John Sharp there to jump and prevent that ball from going to the dugout, because that ball gets to the dugout and call it out of play. The runs come home.
And the runner on first advances to second.
But for state, oh yeah, and the runner. I thought you were saying on top of it, but yeah, you're right. So a big out there from Cecil moves the runner 90 feet closer, and now it's runners at the corners. But Cecil with the opportunity to get himself out of this one. The batter, Dallas Hall, who's had himself a day, 4 for 5. He takes first pitch in there for a called strike.
With 2 outs, that runner moving over to the third doesn't do a whole lot. You're still going to have to get a hit here in order to score them.
Indeed. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball from Cecil. That one does find the zone again. A good curveball there from Nick, and he's ahead in the count, 0-2. Hall getting that badge. We said 4 for 5 on the day. Came into the game at a 290 mark. 0-2 pitch, and Nick delivers on the end. Hall, a guy who got a good amount of playing time with the Miami. He hit 263 with 9 doubles, a triple, 15 RBIs. That's over 137 at-bats. He started in 37 of the games that the Redhawks played this past season. 1-2. And swing and a miss, strike 3. Nick Cecil got him. He strikes out Dallas Hall for out number 3 here in the top of the 8th inning. So we have reached the middle of the 8th. 1 run on 1 hit and 2 men left aboard for the Steam. We go into the bottom of the 8th. The Steam lead by a score of 9-1. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back. You're listening to the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. We go into the bottom of the 8th inning. The Scouts trailing by 8 runs in this one. The score 9-1 in favor of the Steam of Cincinnati. And the Scouts, who have managed just 2 hits throughout this game, are going to send the 7, 8, 9 hitters in the order to the plate. It's Adrian Marquez, Kerry Holloway, and Aaron Valance due up, and Marquez steps in. He bats from the left side against the righty. Adrian 1 for 2 on the day. First pitch, breaking ball. That one taken there for a called strike 1. Marquez, the Wright State University guy, native of Rockford, Illinois. And he hits one right back at the pitcher, a grounder taken on one hop. Shane Smith throws on over to first in time for out number 1. So a ground ball out puts Adrian at 1 for 3 on the day, and now it's going to bring Kerry Holloway to the plate. Holloway, he is 0 for 1 on the day, a sacrifice bunt his first time up, and grounding into a 6-3 his second time up. So Holloway still looking for his first hit of the day. And he hacks at first pitch, hits that one high in the air. Foul territory on the third base side. The third baseman, Schmidt, he tracks it, loses it in the sun for a second, but then finds it, makes the grab for out number 2. So 2 quick outs, and the Scouts really, with these quick at-bats, not putting that much pressure here on the pitcher Smith late in the game.
Yeah, the Scouts have had a tough day, just having quick in and out at-bats and spending a lot more time out in the field.
So now AV to the plate with 2 outs. First pitch to Valance. That one finds the zone for a called strike.
A stat we started keeping back at Lipscomb University was, we called it the game clock, and it was like time of possession in football.
Foul ball hit back, catcher chasing back. That one's going to bounce off the screen, and the catcher Giltro goes down, but he gets up. He's okay. A high effort play there by him. The pitcher Shane Smith, he is obviously pitching deep into this ball game, about 85 pitches in at this point, and through 7 2/3. That is, just really phenomenal.
Yeah, he's doing a great job. And like I said, we keep a stat. We call it the game clock and time of possession. They've been out in the field a lot less than the Scouts have been out in the field.
Absolutely, and that's something that kills. We saw it work in the Scouts' favor last night with, just the long innings, as the 0-2 pitch delivered on the outside moves the count 1-2 here with 2 down in the bottom of the 8th inning. Scouts trailing by a score of 9-1. The pitcher Shane Smith shakes off his capture a couple of times, and now he has what he wants, the 1-2 pitch. And that one in there for a called strike 3. He got him. So Aaron Valance goes down looking for out number 3, and the Scouts go down 1-2-3 in the home half of the 8th. That's no runs on no hits and nobody left aboard. We have played 8 innings of baseball here at Grady's Field, and the Scouts trailing this one by a score of 9-1. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. You're listening to the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. Top of the 9th inning we go. The Scouts trailing this one by a score of 9-1. It's Andrew Alix alongside Chandler Adkins up here in the booth at Grady's Field. And Matthew Wade is into pitch. Wade, the closer from SEMO, getting some work in before he goes to the All-Star game. Slow roller on the first pitch over to John Sharp at third. He fields it on the charge, throws over to the first. In time, out number 1, Matthew Wade, a quick 5-3 ground out. And 1 away here.
Matt is my roommate here in Xenia, and he's been a dominant closer for us, man. Really gets the job done every time he walks out there, it seems like.
And Wade already a 2-time conference champion with the Southeast Missouri Redhawks, and going in there for, I guess, what will be his 3rd year of eligibility because he had the injury, but already has a couple rings and looking to get a couple more. And that pitch on the outside moves the count. 2 balls, 1 strike. Or 2 balls, no strikes, I should say. 2-0 pitch, and Wade swings and misses there. Fights his way back into the count. The batter is Ethan Schmidt. Schmidt, 1 hit on the day. He's also been walked and hit by a pitch. And he takes fastball right down the pipe for a called strike 2. Wade, and he gets him to swing and miss there. Strike number 3, so Matthew Wade gets Ethan Schmidt swinging for out number 2 and a quick 2 outs. And what more can you expect from Matthew Wade?
Matthew throws pretty hard, particularly in this league, just around 90 miles an hour, but that ball's fouled off over to the left side. But really what gets people out is his ability to throw pitches with movement, going from left to right and right to left, especially at that high velocity. He's tough to hit.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you said, he throws fast. He can be 90 to 92 consistently. And as Chmielewski fouls that one back into the box, behind the count, 0-2 here. And Wade, a guy that we've seen, not a surprise that he's an all-star pick, because you got all the teams within the Southern Division. When they look at who the Xenia Scouts nominate, they can see, oh, that guy who pitches the ninth for them, yeah, we can't hit that guy.
Yeah.
No balls, 2 strikes, but 2 outs here in the top of the 9th. Wade, he sets and delivers. And that one is in there for a called strike 3. He got him, so Matt Wade sends him down 1-2-3, striking out 2 of the 3 Cincinnati Steam that he sees in the top of the 9th. And that ends things for the Steam right there. No runs on, no hits, and nobody left aboard. We have reached the middle of the 9th, and the Scouts have their final shot to try to fight their way back into this game in the bottom of the 9th. And don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. You're listening to the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. We go into the bottom of the 9th here, and the Scouts, who are trailing 9-1 with their last chance to try to keep this game going. It's going to be the top of the order with O'Hearn, Sharp, and Barth to the plate. Andrew Alix and Chandler Adkins here in the booth. New pitcher is Alex Dickey. First pitch from Dickey, and Ryan fouls that one. A chopper towards the Cincinnati dugout. The count's going to go 0-1. Ryan, he is 0 for 3 on the afternoon. He bats from the left side against the righty Dickey. 0-1 pitch, and Ryan waves and misses there. Falls behind in the count, 0-2. The Scouts, who have managed 1 run off 2 hits. The Steam with 9 runs on 18 hits. 0-2 pitch. Breaking ball taken up and away. Moves the count, a ball and 2 strikes. And Ryan lines that one on the ground, though. The second baseman, Beckner, tries to throw out Ryan, but Ryan O'Hearn's got some wheels there, brother, and he is safe at first with an infield hit, just a hard-hit ground ball that forced a rushed throw from the second baseman, Beckner, and he's aboard. The Scouts with their second hit of the day. And looks like Don Ring into pinch hit for John Sharp here. An interesting decision by Bubba Cates, yeah, whoever made that lineup decision, and I guess get Ring some at-bats. We saw Don yesterday have a decent day at the plate. I think he was 1 for 5, or 1 for 4, a sacrifice bunt, a walk, and a 2 RBI single. But he has been hitting much better of late. After struggling a bit there, he is hitting, I believe it's above 300 in his last 12 to 15 at-bats. So first pitch Don sees, he fouls hard on the left field side. The left fielder Metzger chasing into foul territory, and he makes the grab for out number 1. So 1 pitch, 1 out. And Don retired there, mark it down as an F7. Brings Jeremy Barth to the plate.
Going back to how Ryan got on base, like we said before, I mean, he's always busting out a hard 90, and hit a ground ball to the second baseman there and was able to beat it out. I mean, that's just a testament to his wheels.
Absolutely. So now Barth steps in. First pitch to Jeremy. Breaking ball, outside part of the plate, a called strike. Barth's 0 for 3 on the day. Fly out and a couple of groundouts. 0-1. Swing and a miss there. Count goes 0-2.
Seems like every time Barth takes a swing, you hear the crowd go, ooh.
Yeah.
This man can really swing the bat hard.
You know, he certainly can take a hack, the 0-2 pitch. Breaking ball taken on the outside. Moves the count, a ball and 2 strikes. Let's get you the out-of-town scoreboard here while we're still on the air here in the bottom of the ninth. And Hamilton and Southern Ohio still yet to get underway. Richmond has actually come back against Licking County. They now lead by a score of 12-8. So that would be an important thing that could happen. But most importantly, a Southern Ohio victory over Hamilton would certainly help the Scouts out. Low and away 2-2 pitch. The count goes full on Barth. 3 balls, 2 strikes with 1 out here. Ryan O'Hearn's at first. Wouldn't be surprised if we saw Ryan trying to steal a bag here. You know, with an 8-run lead. The pitcher probably not too worried about it, and Ryan hasn't been caught stealing yet this year, but Jeremy takes that one into left field, but not deep enough. The left fielder Metzger comes under it and makes the grab. Ryan O'Hearn heads back to first, and now the Scouts are down to their last out, and that's Evan McDonald. McDonald is 0 for 3 on the day. Reached on an error his last time up, actually got all the way over to second there.
And kind of the story of the day, I mean, Barth hammers that ball into left field right at the left fielder. I mean, just can't seem to figure out how to drop.
First pitch to Evan, and he rips that one, and that's going to drop fair down the left field line. Ryan O'Hearn, he gets to second, takes a big turn, but then comes back. But Evan McDonald, who has been hitting balls down the left field line all season, he shows it off yet again. So the Scouts, who managed 2 hits in the first 8 innings with 2 hits here in the ninth, and maybe a chance to at least bring this game closer. And you know that Colt Wolf can do that with 1 swing of the bat.
Yeah, that's right. And Ryan probably making a smart play, not going to third there, obviously understanding that they need more than 1 run to tie this game up. So
First pitch to Wolf. Colt takes a big hack there. Count goes 0-1. Wolf, he had a home run robbed from him in the second. Since then, a ground out and a strikeout for the Calvin College Knight. 0-1 pitch, and Wolf rips that one, and it's going to drop in left field. Ryan O'Hearn, he's rounding third and coming home. The throw to the plate will be not in time. Ryan O'Hearn slides home, and an RBI single off the bat of Colt Wolf brings the Scouts 1 run closer. The score is now 9-2.
We're praying for a 2-out rally right here. Colt Wolf obviously seeing the ball pretty well with that ball they hit hard to center field. They got robbed, and picks up a hit right there. So Caleb Bloy up now has 1 hit on the day.
And Bloy, he steps in. He bats from the right side. First pitch. That one taken low and away. Ball 1. Bloy, like Chandler aforementioned, a single back in the 5th. Scouts, but 2 on and 2 outs here in the bottom of the 9th. They trail this game by a score of 9-2, and Bloy fouls 0-1-0 back down towards the plate, evens up the count, a ball and a strike. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Scouts trying to get something going here late at Grady's Field. So Bloy, he steps back in, 1-1 the count now. The pitcher, Dickey, he delivers. And Bloy takes breaking ball foul back into the rolling hills of Xenia out of play on the right field side. And, win, lose, or draw, you're getting closer to that cheeseburger you've been asking for.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, that ball's fouled off close to the concession stand. I couldn't help but think about that cheeseburger.
So now 1 ball, 2 strikes. The pitch. And good take there. Trying to advance the bases, Evan McDonald, and that ball is not going to get there in time. So count evens up 2-2. McDonald and Wolf both get 90 feet closer. Now it's runners at second and third. And with 2 down here, anything in the gap could be a possible couple runs scored here for Bloy, a guy who has been very hot of late, but 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. And Bloy grounds that one over towards short. The shortstop, Dacus, picks it up and throws on over to first in time. And that is all she wrote here tonight, folks. The final score, the Cincinnati Steam 9, the Xenia Scouts 2. The Steam with 9 runs on 18 hits and 2 errors. The Scouts with 2 runs on 5 hits and 2 errors as well. That game brings the Scouts to 24-13 on the season. They are now a half game up on first place. The Hamilton Joes will play later tonight, so we will see how that game affects the standings in the long run. The Steam, they improved to 20-16 on the year, and the Steam are fighting to get that wild card playoff spot. So the final game between these 2 teams, the Scouts take the season series 4-2, and they, a very competitive series and a couple of really good teams with a lot of firepower both offensively and a couple of great pitchers. So these teams could obviously see each other again in the postseason.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. I mean, like you said, the record's 20-16, but this is a good team, Cincinnati Steam.
Yeah, so the win goes to Shane Smith. He pitched a very impressive outing, 8 innings of 2-hit baseball, allowing 1 run. It was earned. The loss is going to go to Caleb Fernholz. He allowed 5 earned runs in an inning in the 3rd. He moves to 2 and 3 on the season. They're not going to give a save to anyone because it was not a save situation, but that's going to about wrap it up for us. The Scouts will be back in action on Thursday in a very, very important series between the Scouts and the Hamilton Joes. If you're going to tune in to any 2 baseball games this regular season, I would recommend that these games with the Joes are probably going to hold the most weight, as these 2 teams who have been, neck and neck all season, trading off that first place spot, will face off for the final time here, and a lot of weight on those games. So we hope to see you then. So that game's going to be on Thursday at 7:05 Eastern Standard Time. Until then, we are going to enjoy the All-Star break, a couple of days off. Chandler, you got any plans?
Yeah, I mean, I just need to rest my hammy so I can get back and play the Hamilton Joes, and we're gonna take care of some vacation Bible school while we're doing it.
Vacation Bible School is Star Wars themed, and let me tell you, Darth Vader, I am your father. I think that sounds pretty good to me, but he is Chandler Adkins. I am Andrew Alix. For us and the entire Xenia Scouts family, would like to thank you for joining us tonight. We wish you a great night, and God bless.